Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Mind If I Crash podcast. It's been a few weeks, but we are back, and we are wrapping this season up very quickly. Only 2 more episodes before our cash drawing. Once again, guys, if you guys need to... Yeah, why is that?
Where was that?
In his ball sack.
The ball sack.
Once again, guys, it's not too late to sign up for the cash giveaway. The plug. The nut plug. Hell yeah. Life Widgets sponsoring the show today. What is it? North Carolina. Jerry Tebow. Is it North Carolina?
Mm-hmm.
North Carolina. Proud sponsor of the show. Sign up, download the app, add me as your first friend immediately in the drawing. 3 cash prizes coming after the 10th episode, guys. So today, this is probably someone who's been requested from the start of the podcast, not just the start of the season. Awesome story to tell. Probably can't fit it all in the hour and a half we're about to do, but we're glad that you're here. Dude, from being a world champion at just 18 in arm wrestling, all the way to being a leading, cultivating pioneer in the tattoo industry today, Mr. Boomer Reagan. How are you, sir?
What's up? Thanks for having me.
Thanks for... You're helping us, man.
Hey, I appreciate it. Anything is... It's fun, dude. I'm into it.
Yeah, this is dope, and obviously this is the scene that you guys have never seen before. We're in Total Immortal today, shooting for the first time on the go.
This is my shop.
Beautiful shop.
Super fucking rad.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'd live here if I could.
Tommy's trying to find a way to actually stay
I'm just
here.
gonna force my girlfriend to break up with me today.
There you go.
I'll be at work tomorrow.
Just
I got rent, though.
leave your phone at home. You can-
I like that.
Fuck you,
So, let's get into just the beginning. You know, I want to know, obviously, your life from the start. Tell me a little bit about yourself, kind of how you kind of found this route in life. Where did you find tattooing? Where did it spark your interest?
Oh, man. Tattooing, as weird as it sounds, or cliche as it sounds, tattooing found me. So I grew up, at a young age, I was a skater. Just like, I didn't grow up here close to Cleveland. I mean, it's northern Ohio, but it's like a totally different world than here.
Mhm.
Like, and it was a totally different time. Like, I'm older, so like, rap music wasn't a big thing yet. Like, hip hop was kind of there with like the skate scene or whatever, but like, I grew up as a skater, and I grew up playing instruments, and I played drums and guitar and all that shit. And growing up, I knew I'm probably going to be the drummer or the singer of a band, or I'm going to be a professional skater. Like, I ended up getting sponsored to skate when I was like 13.
Oh, so you were skating for real. You were doing it.
Like, I wasn't like just like a fuck boy. Like, I was out there, I was breaking shit, and I was like on top of buildings, and I'm breaking bones, and like I'm just live fast, die fun. My whole life. Like, that was me and my friends forever. Live fast, die fun, too fast for Satan. Like,
That's dope,
we're
though.
moving, you know,
Yeah.
like, we got shit to do. It's like, it started out as a means of transportation. It turns into like your life.
Mm-hmm.
So on that token, like, tattoos were also in that scene.
It is, for sure.
It's like, that's a big part of like growing up. The guys on the posters from the bands that you like, or the skaters that you like, they had some tattoos, and it's like, I want fucking tattoos.
Mhm.
My dad had tattoos, you know what I mean? Like, I wanted to look like that, you know what I mean? And like, as a child, like most boys do, if your dad's around, you idolize your fucking dad. Like, I want to be just like him. I want to be strong. I want to have tattoos. Like, I want to be a tough guy. And
Badass,
it's like,
right?
I was a wrestler in school. I was getting into fights and stuff, as most younger boys do in that time, like, where it wasn't like you're gonna get in trouble and suspended. Like, you get in a fight, you go to your next class. Like, it's whatever it is.
Right.
So I grew up doing all of that stuff, and eventually tattooing found its way to me.
It is very much part of that culture.
It is.
You know,
It is.
Essentially, you were probably the inspiration of the movie Point Break. Sounds like you were just living fast.
I was,
essentially.
man. Everything was like, at that time, when I was a little more energetic than I am in my old age, everything was fast. I grew up in a racing town, so everybody there had race cars.
Oh,
We
yeah.
had fast cars, fast music. We would skate fast. We were literally, everything was go, 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 go. Put as much life as you can into your life. Experience as much as you can, because this was before. There was no cell phones. There was no, like,
You're living in the moment.
I had a beaver.
early
you know what I mean?
2000s,
Yeah,
right?
like my friends.
Boomer's 63 years old.
Thank you. I'm almost. It's close. But it's like, we were doing every single thing that we could fit into our lives right now. There is no, we never plan for a tomorrow. Like,
that's dope, though.
And I'm still the same way. Like, if I die right now, I fucking did it already. Mm-hmm. I did everything that you've wanted to do. I've already done it. Mm-hmm. I've done it plus some. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I've lived 1,000 lives. Yeah, dude. Like, I've done that shit. Like we were talking before we started this. Like, dude, I've been in like fights like where there's a fucking ring and there's people watching. There's a crowd. I've been on stage in front of 30,000 people, arm wrestling. I've
taken a world title.
I've taken world titles away from people.
Yeah, I kind of get into that
I've
a little
literally,
bit. Like,
as a teenager, put grown men in their place because, like, I will try harder than you. Right. As hard as you'll try, I'll try. I'll fucking die. Yeah. I'll die right now.
You're prepared to die.
I'm ready to fucking go. Like,
that's a mentality. Is it not?
It is. It totally is. You can't
today.
Teach that shit. Like, that is
You're
instilled
born.
in you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's who you are. You know what I mean? Like, when I was a kid, dude, my dad would wake me up at 2 and 3 in the morning, drunk off his ass. Get the fuck outside and wrestle Bill. Get the fuck outside and fucking get Eric. Mm-hmm. And he would be yelling at me, fucking single leg, double leg, rear naked, whatever it was. If I didn't do that, my dad didn't count it as a win. And I had to go to school tomorrow. Yeah. Like, I'm fucking fighting grown men. Literally in a fucking fight, bloody. Yeah. From these other drunk grown men. Like, also, Bill, where the fuck are you? Bill Rutherford.
Bill, wanted.
Like,
William.
Eric Shank. You guys were fighting me when I was 12, and I was fucking you guys up.
How does that feel?
And I was small, and that's another thing. I was a smaller dude, so it's like, little dudes will fight to the death. They said that in Fight Club.
Scrappy.
Little dudes will fight to the fucking
death. They got the biggest heart.
Because I had something to prove. I always fucking did, and I still do. As much as I've lived those 1,000 lives and I've done everything, there's more shit that I want to do.
Always.
Do you say you do it for you and the ones you care about, though? You're not doing it for the next motherfucker.
No.
You're doing it for you.
I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it for my kids to show them you literally can do whatever you want if you try hard enough.
You just set your mind to it.
If you try hard enough, you can fucking do it. Just fucking do it. Not to be like a Nike thing, but you literally just fucking do that shit. If you want it bad enough, do it. If you don't want to do something, you won't do it. Right. You know what I mean? Like that. If R. Kelly pulls his dick out and he's gonna pee on you, and I don't want him to, I'm gonna fucking move. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
so the women they got pissed on and enjoyed it. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Hey, if you're in
I'm not hating.
No, I'm not hating.
I'm not gonna kink shame them.
But I'm just saying, if you don't want to do something, don't fucking do it. And if you do want to, fucking try harder.
Yep.
Yeah.
Try fucking harder.
Give it your all.
Yeah.
I like
try
that.
harder.
Every day is just a revolving door. So
I also really love that you said you're not planning for tomorrow. I think that mentality in itself, like on top of a go, go, go.
Yeah.
When you say, I'm going to do it today, why wait until tomorrow?
Right.
You get so much shit done. I mean, you are fairly young and have done so much.
Yeah.
With that mentality. 63 is not that young.
He's
but
63.
Still.
63 is the new 40.
Yes. I like that.
What the fuck? So how did you get into like arm wrestling?
So my dad arm wrestled in the 80s before they got me. And he stopped or whatever, and my dad was like big into like online poker tournaments.
Okay.
Like years
Even
ago.
back then?
Back then. Like not in the 80s, not in the 80s. So
no,
he got into these online poker tournaments in like the mid 90s.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, he sucked at it. But I guess there was like a pop up for like arm wrestling in your area. Even back then, your fucking computers and shit were listed.
Spamming you, right?
Yeah.
Like so, it was in Montpelier, Ohio, and it's like out by Toledo. So my dad was like, I'm gonna go to this tournament. It was called the Harley Poll. I don't know if they still do it. If they do, that's dope. Like every winner of every weight class gets a key, and whoever's key starts this Harley, you fucking get it at the end.
Oh, that's sick as
It's
fuck.
super dope, and it's always like a decked out fucking all custom.
Yeah,
Harley. Super dope. So my dad goes there, and he gets like 20 seconds total of table time. Ready, go, bam. Ready, go, bam. Got his fucking ass kicked, but loved it.
Right.
Came home raving about it.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta get back into this and all this shit. And dude, I was 12. And I was like, I'll try it, like, so I was already fucking having to fight his fucking friends. So now his friends are coming over and doing this shit. Like, I want to do this too. You know what I mean? Like, I still at that point, I really looked up to my dad. He was my best friend. And like, I want to do what you're doing. I want to hang out with you, and I want to be tough. You know what I mean? And I was like fucking 100 pounds, dude. I was so
Soaking
small.
wet.
Right, dude. But
I mean, you're
Scrappy,
what,
though.
13, 14 at this time?
I was like 12. I was
Damn,
like 12
dude.
years old, dude.
So before you were a teen.
Yeah, I wasn't even a teenager yet.
You were
I
a
won
force
my
to
first
fucking
tournament
reckon
at
with.
13.
Wow.
I was a teenager, but that was in like a teenage division.
Right.
So I was doing men's tournaments also,
Mhm.
but getting my ass kicked. But when I turned 15, I like won my first match in the men's division. And within that year, before I was 16 years old,
Balls
I was
dropped.
making the Final Four every time. And once I turned 16, they wouldn't even let me in amateur tournaments anymore.
They
I had to sign
forced
up
you to
in the
go up.
men's pro division.
Wow.
Damn.
And it went from me not even winning a match and having to sit at these tournaments and watch the rest of these tournaments for hours on end
Mhm.
to me winning every single thing I went
And
to.
advancing.
And it's like I would go to these tournaments and it was like, okay, well, who's going to take second? You know, I'm signing autographs and shit for people that I've never met, but somehow they know who I am.
Yeah.
And,
That's got to be a cool fucking
and dude,
feeling.
this is like before MySpace was a thing. This was like, how do these people know me?
Mhm.
And I didn't look like any of those people.
Right.
My image, even then, I was a punker.
Yeah.
Like I had
No, I
crazy
saw a
colored
picture
hair.
of you like flexed
and-
out like,
yeah,
your
dude,
hair
like,
was swooped to the side.
I think that photo you're talking about, I had a big ass mohawk, but they
Dude,
made me
that
put
photo's
it
sick,
down.
though.
Mhm,
They
yes.
wouldn't let me have it
Okay,
up for the
okay.
fucking tournament. They're like, it's a distraction. I'm like, what is this, fucking school? What are
Right.
you talking about? But everybody else looked like a construction worker in like these big burly dudes with
Carhartt
beards
and
and shit,
shit.
Carhartts
Yeah.
and shit.
You were
And
putting it
here's
down
me
at
with the
16.
fucking band t-shirt, and I'm just like,
Rolled
what's up,
up,
motherfuckers?
yeah.
Like, let's get it. I'm here to go fucking fast. Ricky Bobby, baby. Like, I'm ready to go. And I just started just whipping dudes' asses.
How did that feel? Did that? I mean, as a kid, that has to feel fucking amazing.
You're on top of the world, bro.
At that point, everything felt like a big dick competition. Like,
Fair enough.
who comes in here swinging? And I always felt like, here we go, motherfuckers. Like, what's up? Like, I'm here to fucking show everybody that I'm not just a kid. I'm here to fuck you up in front of your wife.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm here to fuck you up in front of your kid. I'm
You
here
gotta
to
drive them
embarrass
home.
you. I'm here to embarrass you. Yeah, exactly. You're gonna drive them home, and they're gonna talk about the one that you called the little emo guy, the
Yeah.
little punk rock guy, like, oh, the guy with earrings and painted nails. Like, I'm here fucking you up, dude.
I'm taking you home, Cheryl.
And once I was old enough to go to bars and shit, I would hustle the fuck out of people in bars.
Oh,
I would just walk up to
respectfully.
groups of the biggest dudes and be like, were you guys talking about arm wrestling? They'd be like, no. I was like, all right, cool. Because I was going to say, like, I'll fuck you guys up. But whatever, have a good night, man. It was nice to talk to you for a second. And they'd be like, what are you talking about? $20? I'm like, yeah, put down $100 or get the fuck out of here. And bring
Go
your
big or
girl
go
over
home.
here, too, so she can watch you get your fucking ass kicked.
Damn.
And I was just, at first, it was like, be nice, be subtle, like I would arm wrestle a friend and let them beat me,
Mhm.
and whatever. But as I got a little older, I realized everybody wants to shut up the cocky guy.
Yep.
So I would just always go in there like, it's
Dick
me,
swinging,
motherfucker.
yeah.
It's me. It's always been me.
Yes.
Like, whatever I'm going to do, I will do it better than you and you and you and your fucking friends. I will own this shit.
Mhm.
I will fucking kill all of this shit because I know I'll fucking try harder than you.
Yep. You're
I know.
V-lining straight
I
to
know
the
so
head.
much of the time, these guys should have been able to beat me. They were stronger than me. They were faster than me, whatever. But like, I'm smarter
Mhm.
than you. Like, I know I'm smarter. Like, in an actual fight, everything has a counter. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
There's a counter to
Everything.
There's a way to stop it. There's a way to block it. And I got so fast at learning how to stop people from doing things that I'm not even gonna let you be strong. I'm gonna
Right.
take all your strength away from you, and I'm gonna just literally own you in front of this crowd because I fucking want it more.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a rush. I mean,
It is a rush.
turning
Like,
a crowd up,
dude,
that's a rush.
Dude, even at 17 and stuff like that, I'm not even technically an adult yet, but they're wanting me to MC tournaments and shit because I'll
That's
get the
insane.
fucking crowd going.
Mhm.
Like, stand the fuck up.
Yes.
Get up and let's do this
What the
shit.
fuck is up, Kyle?
Right. That's my puppy's name.
Your dog's name is Kyle.
His name's Kyle.
What?
He
Shout
likes
out to
monster
Kyle.
and dirt
Shout out
bikes.
to Kyle, dude.
Kyle, I know you're at home right now. I miss you.
Sniffing your ass, licking your balls.
Licking some butt.
Hell yeah.
So how many like titles have you won? I know you mentioned
Oh,
you
shit,
won a
dude.
championship,
I
world
mean, I'm
championship.
sure you were every weekend away, right?
Yeah, the last year that I competed, I did 38 tournaments.
Jesus.
Out of 52 weeks in the year. And then on top of that, there's training also.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And the best training for arm wrestling is arm wrestling. I mean, I could lift weights. I've done weightlifting competitions too. I did a curling competition after an arm wrestling tournament. won the fucking curling competition. I curled 172 pounds and I only weighed 138.
Jesus.
And that was a straight bar curl with no swing that got yardsticks on both sides.
Yeah,
and
so
I had
it's
already
just straight
done the whole
arm,
tournament.
up and down.
I already won the whole tournament.
So your arms should
You were
already be
curling
shot.
that?
I could curl that at that time.
Most people at that age, at that weight, couldn't even bench that.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, that's insane.
And as far as I know, I still own so many records at Norwalk High School. I had pound for pound best bench press. I also had the highest bench press. I had the dips, pegboard, push-ups. I could do one-armed push-ups, chin-ups. My
You weren't
wrestling
settling.
coach
No.
brought his his son in, who had a full ride to Ohio State University. Jake, I do like him. You were a little bit of a dick to me that day. But he brought his son in to the school, and they called me out of class to come down to the weightlifting room because Jake wanted to verse me in some weightlifting shit.
The best
and
against the best.
I wore a weighted belt because he weighed 190. He's like, well, you need to pull up 190 then. Like, are you
Right.
going to be this petty right now? This is
Wow.
body weight for body weight. And I still fucked him up.
Damn, bro.
I could do more one-handed pull-ups than he could do with both his hands, and I had that weighted fucking belt on. But love that dude.
Well, good job, Jakey Poo.
Good job. I mean, hey, he went to Ohio State on a full ride.
Did his thing, I guess. Yeah.
Technically, I didn't even graduate from high school. I'm a high school dropout.
You could have done anything, though. Really.
Yeah,
You really could have done anything.
Even at that age, I knew like I'm gonna have to work and do something. I'm going to make it big somewhere.
Right.
So I gave myself job stoppers as I stretched my ears at 12 years old, and I mean that was a long time ago. I'm pushing 40 right now.
That's way before it was
63.
cool. That's way before that was cool.
Right. It was
Or
like,
even in fashion.
yeah, like I had my tongue pierced and shit in 6th grade. You know what I mean? Like,
Damn.
this was a long time ago, and
Yeah.
it's like I started getting tattoos and stuff because at the time I didn't want to be part of like the man. I don't want to have some corporate job and.
The
It
manufacturing line
sounds-
of society.
Yeah.
Right. It sounds dumb saying it as an adult, but as a kid, at that time, I had to make it.
You live and die by that.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
like there was no tomorrow, so whatever today is today, and I'm gonna try hard to, if I can get to tomorrow, I'm gonna go even bigger than I did yesterday.
Yep.
And
That's
I've
dope
always
as a
seen
kid.
it that way. I've always seen it that way. Like I'm gonna try harder, I'm gonna do more, and I'm gonna make it. Whatever it is, I'm gonna make it at that. When it was skating, I made it. When it was arm wrestling, I made it. Once tattooing came about in my life,
You're
anyways,
making
it was already, I'm gonna make it.
Yep.
I worked in a shop. A guy gave me the chance to work in his shop. I worked there for 3 years. I ended up leaving to open my own shop. 3 years in, opened this place, and I'm only like a little over 6 years in as a tattoo artist, and I'm sponsored by 6 companies.
Yeah,
I've
that's
won
crazy.
A ton of awards,
Which-
and been in magazines, and
For the everyday person, like, that is a major accomplishment. Like, that's not anything to just overlook. That's a huge accomplishment.
in even with tattooing and stuff like that, it's like it doesn't matter how many followers you have, because there's a ton of followers and shit that they're not even good. Or there's a ton of tattooers that have a lot of followers that they're not even good. But as far as like other tattooers that follow my work, that's what means the most to me. How much influence do you have on the industry?
Yeah.
One of my friends, Jeremy, said that to me. He said, "How much influence do you have on the industry? Not just how many people like your shit, but how many people who do what you do like your shit."
Right.
And that goes in any industry. Where do you stand there? How much do they like my art? And I've never even really seen myself as an artist. I just make tattoos, man.
That's dope. That's
And,
humble, though.
like-
That's a humble.
Like
That's
to-
a humble flex.
Everything that I do has always been broken down to like its dumbest form. Like I'm just coloring in shapes, man.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Kiss.
But I'm gonna go
100%.
fucking
I like
hard.
that.
Right, but like I'll make my colors brighter than yours. I'll make my shading smoother than yours.
Probably had, like
If
a
it-
badass coloring book. You probably had the most
Yes.
colorful coloring book I've ever seen. I bet.
Oh, dude, when I was a kid, I loved
Because
it.
you go like full fledged. I could just see you just fucking crayons are shrinking in
Oh,
size.
fuck, dude. I need 6 boxes of crayons.
Look at this shit. Ah.
And that's that mentality you had as a child, still applying to your
Right,
life.
and it's sad to see that so many people aren't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it isn't something that I think you can teach.
A lot of
I
people
think
want handouts.
Yeah.
Help me.
Everybody's always hoping that they can find an in, like help me get into this. And it's
And
like,
I'm sure
dude,
that.
you open that door yourself.
A lot of
If
people
you don't
live by
have a
the.
key, fucking break in.
Yep.
Kick that fucking door in, go through the window, put yourself there, and then do it.
A
You
lot
know
of
what I
people
mean?
live
Yeah.
by it's not what you know, it's who you know. That is true, but
in a sense.
yeah.
Definitely reigns true, but so guys, we're gonna take a really quick break, but when we come back, I want to dial it in on your story of coming up, because 6 years you've done a lot, you know, and I want to kind of dive into everything that you are as what we consider an artist. You're just, you know, doing tattoos.
There's a guy with the color.
We'll be right back, guys.
Guy with the color. Okay.
All right, guys, and we are back, getting into the tattoo side of things. So, obviously, you grew up basically in that culture. When did you get your first tattoo, and then did that spark the interest? Walk me through you getting tattooed versus becoming a tattoo artist.
What was your first tattoo, and why was it a penis?
So, because I needed one. You know what I mean? I need one. No, I grew up in, my high school was huge. Like, we had a lot of kids there.
Yeah.
Like, a ton of kids there. And of all the kids in my high school at the time I was done, there was like 4 kids that had tattoos. So
Damn.
It was still, as far as, like, now there's high school kids that have fucking full sleeves.
Covered,
and shit.
yeah.
But like then it was still like, you know, you gotta get a job. What are you gonna do with your life? And it's like, fuck you, like I'm gonna skate. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so me getting a tattoo at first, I was the first one in my friend group, obviously, because like 4 kids at the end of high school, and they were all my fucking dudes. You know what I mean? Like, but my first tattoo, I got a spider web on my shoulder. I wanted something that was big, and I wanted it to cover some space, but it was just lines and like a minute bit of shading.
Right.
So like, it would cover some space, and I didn't think it would hurt that much or take that long, because I didn't know what the fuck it was going to be like. None of my friends had them.
Dude, it's unpredictable your
Right.
first time.
So it's like, I got this tattoo, and all of a sudden it was just like fucking cutoffs all the time. Like, I was
Yes.
such a fuck. Like, you know
God.
that guy that's got his like t-shirt, there's like a spot cut out so you can see his tattoo like the fucking meme.
Or he gets to the bar and he like purposely rolls it up.
Yeah,
like,
that
I
was
see
me.
you.
Anytime I'm going out to eat, I'm like, oh, I think I'm gonna have like a, you know, whatever.
You guys have a strawberry daiquiri
Yeah,
with
can
alcohol?
I please can I get a water with lemon?
You guys,
Oh my God.
Like,
you guys see anything funny with this?
Right.
Oh Jesus!
God.
That's part of
So-
being a kid, though. Like,
Oh,
that's,
yeah.
it's
So-
cute in a way. Like that's
right.
just how
and
we work.
It's adorable because
Yeah.
it's like and not remembering back, not to sound like a dick, but like I remember my first tattoo. You know what I mean? Like you want to show everybody, you want people to know that like, hey, I'm in this now.
Yes.
It does change you. It
Oh,
really
absolutely.
does. Like, because now for the rest of your life, this is here unless you black your arm out. You're gonna have this and you're gonna see it forever. You know what I mean? And you're a different person now. Now, it's not that I shouldn't even say you're a different person. Now you're you. You know what I mean? Because I've
Yes.
always been this. I've always been shock value. But upon like a first appearance of me at 12, 13, 14, maybe it was just my hair that people were like, that kid's a little bit wild. You know, or like some my
gauges.
bugs or whatever in my ear. Like now people call them gauges.
Oh, yeah,
but,
yeah. Not butt plugs.
You know, like, but even further than that, it's like I want to go farther. You know what I mean? It's like my mom's like, don't tattoo your forearms, don't tattoo your face. Like, I'll never do that, Mom. And then I turned into this piece of garbage.
I can't wait to tattoo my face.
But it's, you can't even see your face.
I know.
You see like your eyes, but like my eyelids are tattooed.
Hey, at least you guys have a matching tat at the moment.
You're twins.
Dude,
you need to get this.
No.
No? You don't like it?
Commit to the lifestyle.
No.
Tom.
Ever since I got a tattoo, bro, all I wear is ski masks now.
Right.
Oh, dangerous motherfucker. Exactly. I'm
But
Sebastian.
it does, like, it did spark it in you. It's like anybody that has one tattoo, like, you want another one.
They probably have
You know
more.
what I mean?
Almost immediately
Like,
after.
you got to get another one, and you forget that it hurts, and you want to go back and you want to get more because it really is just a temporary pain, and any pain is temporary. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna get through whatever emotional pain or physical pain you're in, and you forget how bad it was. Why did we get in other relationships? We forget, you know, like, so you end up going back and you want more, and you want more, and you want more, and I just so happen to have the means to do it. When I started tattooing, tattoos were, at that time, you know, where I was living, it was expensive. Like, we didn't make a lot of money, dude. Like,
I'm sure of that.
Like, I'm talking, like, we were poor, dude. Like, I remember heating up bowls of water in the microwave so that I could bathe in a bowl
Oh, yeah,
of
bro.
water.
I was poor as
Like,
shit
Stove
growing
open,
up.
bring
Yeah,
it in.
yes, dude.
I
like,
get that.
Poor. You know, so getting a tattoo was like, how the hell am I going to do that? So
And justify it.
I was at a party one night with friends, man, and I had like 3 tattoos. I got one at 16. I got one at 17, and I got one at 18. And I didn't get any when I was 19. But when I was 20, I was at a party with some friends, and we were all talking about tattoos. My one buddy says, I think I know how to make a tat gun. And I was
Prison
like, hey,
shit.
me too. And another friend said the same thing. So we all collaborated and talked about it for what seemed like hours. You know, they were all drinking and stuff. I don't drink or anything, but I was like, I'm going to make one right now. So I made one out of like an alarm clock and a pen and
Some prison break shit.
yeah,
For real.
dude. Like,
For real.
like my friends knew as soon as I started, like, I'm taking this shit apart. They're like, he's gonna fucking do it.
Yeah, if anyone's going to,
like,
it's gonna be you.
I'll build this shit. Like, I'll make this and it's gonna work. So like, my one buddy had gone to like Walmart while I was building it, and he took all the caps off their toothpaste,
Good
stuffed them in his
shit.
pocket. Those weren't ink caps, Justin. I know you remember. He owns a tattoo shop now. So I made this tattoo machine and, in the worst way, started tattooing my friends.
Yep.
And unsanitary and living fast, and we were doing it. You know, my friend's just like, do a skull, do my daughter's name, do this. And I'm just like, yeah, no drawing it on first, just literally fucking tattooing.
Freehanding the shit.
As I go.
Fast,
We didn't even
infect
have
slow.
paper towels, dude. I had a fucking rag and a bowl of water, and I was wringing it out and wiping them off with it. It
Jesus.
was so bad. Like, don't do that. Do it the right way. But eventually, like, I did that for a little bit, and I was like, I'm gonna buy some real tattoo equipment, and I'm gonna try this. And I did it on my friends here and there, like a little bit. And then I was like, I'm kind of into this. Like, I could do this. I think. And I tattooed my friends here and there just a little bit. And then the guy that owns the shop that I used to work at, he saw some of my stuff on my Instagram page and was like, dude, your work is dope. Where do you work? I'm like, I don't actually work in a shop. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just do it on my friends sometimes. I have a normal job. I worked in a factory, you know, and I'd been working there for like 6 or 7 years.
Damn, you were committed to that.
Yeah,
then.
man. I was busting my ass
Yeah,
in
like
that
you said,
factory,
you always
like
had a mentality.
70 hours a week.
I gotta make it. I gotta
Yeah,
make it.
so,
one way or
like,
another.
I got some kids, you know, like I got to provide for them, and I didn't grow up here, so I didn't even know anybody from here. And he was like, if you ever want a job in a shop, let me know. And I was like, all right, cool. And, you know, I'll just keep that in mind, whatever.
Planting
Like
the seed.
2 weeks later, my job says, hey, we're moving. If anybody that wants to come can come. And I'm like, I'm not moving all the way to fucking Kansas City.
Oh
for
shit,
20
moving.
Yeah, dude. I was going through some stuff, trying to get
Damn.
custody of my oldest daughter at the time, and I just didn't want to do all that. Like, I couldn't move for that amount of money, you know. And
That
I
was just
like,
a sign.
I guess I'm gonna
Yeah.
try the tattoo thing and actually do it. So I went to that shop and I just started pumping out tattoos, as many as I could on whoever wanted a tattoo, you know. And I did it the only way that I knew how, was to just do more.
Yeah.
You know, like I've always done everything fast. I tattoo fast,
Yes.
really fast compared
People
to
get
most
blown
tattoo
away. I
artists.
tell them that this literally took you 2.5 hours to do.
Really?
Like at the like.
Probably like
maybe-
setup and everything
Dude,
on a
Jeez.
throat.
That's
I'm
impressive.
talking about like getting everything set up, getting the stencil ready, doing the outline, and then coloring each.
Multiple colors.
Oh, dude, he was fast with it, and it didn't hurt. He was very light-handed. What hurt was the Adam's apple.
Scoot in.
Yeah.
What hurt was the Adam's apple. He ended up saying, he was like, I had the nose left. It was in the nose.
Yeah,
And
I
I remember
remember.
being like,
Oh, that's
dude, I'm
gotta be a
done. I was like,
gnarly
I'm done.
spot,
I'm done.
dude.
He's like, bro, stop being a pussy. 5 minutes, okay? 5 more minutes.
You can
If
do
that.
it. Stop.
You can do
You're
it.
gonna be mad if you
And it wasn't even
fucking
5 minutes, bro. He was like, all right, you're done. Like,
Yeah.
smacked me on the butt, sent me on my way.
Right.
I mean, dude, that's perfect. So, like, how were you building your client base? Was it from your Instagram or was it from walk-ins at first?
So Instagram helped me a little bit, because when Instagram first came out and I ended up getting an Instagram, there were like some of those like cheesy tattoo pages that would like post like tattooed guys or whatever.
Yeah,
And that helped me
men's
get,
with
like,
tats.
like a little bit of a following.
Mhm.
So I had some followers from that, but a lot of those people weren't even from this country.
No,
you know what I mean?
it never
It's like
is. It never
the
is.
people from here, like I said, I didn't grow up right here, so it's not like I could tell somebody from high school or anything, hey,
Swing by,
come into the
dude.
shop and get a tattoo. So I was literally just relying on people walking in, and I know
Word
that
of mouth.
a lot of people, they try to build their clientele off of like, I'm going to do really good tattoos and do the best work I can, which obviously I try to do the best I can, but I also need to get more of them done than everybody else. If this tattooer is doing 1 or 2 every day, I'm going to do 10 every day.
Wow.
You had that same mindset you did
Yeah.
when you were young. I'm
Like-
gonna do it better and harder.
And that's on a consistent basis, can I ask?
Yeah. At the time, I was
Holy
doing
shit.
so many tattoos because I felt like if I do one really good tattoo, a bunch of people will see that and they'll think it's dope. But if I do like 10 smaller bangers, everyone's gonna see those, and they're gonna tell their friends, and that's even more chance of people coming to see me.
It's
And
like-
that's where I built.
yeah.
That's where I built a bigger clientele, and that's what helped me pay my bills. You know what I mean? Was all those small tattoos. Like, there's all these newer tattoos that want to do this big, extravagant shit, and it's like, dude, do the small things, do the bangers, get the people in and out, and make them feel happy with what they have, because not everybody
Yeah.
wants a whole sleeve, especially now. A lot of people want small things.
It's in for
do
sure.
those little tattoos and make the money, and then like once or twice a week you can really show what you're capable of by doing one really cool tattoo.
Right.
Giving your time.
Right.
to it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, don't turn shit away. Like, who are you?
So would you say
You know what I
flash
mean?
tattoos are making a comeback? You would say?
Yeah, flash
Yeah.
tattoos they've always been around.
Yeah, they
I think they're cool too.
Well,
I
yeah,
think they're sweet.
now with the internet the way that it is, and a lot of people they're not very artsy. They don't know what they want.
They're not
So
original.
they're gonna go in and they're gonna see some shit that's on the wall or in a book, and
Yeah.
they're just like, you know what, I want that, and that's become really popular lately because like some of the influencers and shit like that have all these little bangers.
Like we were talking about just
Right.
before, you know.
And plus the little bangers aren't as painful. You're in and you're out.
Yeah.
You look tatted when you have all these little things all over your arms.
Yep.
So
I get that.
That's big, and it's like that's where you make your money as a tattooer, in my opinion. You know what I mean? You're gonna make a lot of money off of doing those,
Right.
And you make a lot of people happy. You know what I mean? Because that's also what it's about, is giving people that experience to make them happy with how they look now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because everybody
It's a
wants,
modification.
yeah, everybody wants to be the tattooed one, especially once you get so many. You want to have you want to have more than your friends. Like I said, I got one at 16, one at 17, one at 18, none when I was 19. When I was 20, I got over 100 tattoos that year. When I was
Holy
21, I got over 100 tattoos that year. Like, I went so hard. Like, I'm tattooing myself.
fuck?
My friends are tattooing me. I'm tattooing them, and we got blasted.
It's a big old tattoo train. It's
That's
just
great.
a big
Like,
orgy.
almost
We were,
overnight.
Like, tattoos.
Yeah, and it's like I would see people that are like, I'm blasted, and it's like, how many do you have to be blasted? Because I have hundreds of tattoos on me.
Yeah.
And now even at this point, I have 600 or 700 tattoos on my body.
Wow.
And a lot of them, like I was saying a little bit ago, were small things. But a lot of them, I'd cover them up with bigger things and just layers on layers of tattoos, because like I said, you evolve. When I got my arm tattooed like 20 years ago, it feels like I'm a different person now, a little bit. Like my art has changed. I didn't know tattoos could look the way that they can look.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when I was getting lettering tattooed on me, I didn't know that like graffiti tattoos were a thing. That's cool. Like I did graffiti and stuff as a kid. You'd spray on stuff and try to make it look cool, and then it's like more colors or more pointy edges, and it's like, all right, that trend is gone.
Yeah.
Now it's lame to have stars tattooed on you. So you move on to the next thing. You cover it up with the next cool thing, and it's like you stay relevant in that aspect. And it's like when you look the way that everybody else wants to look, you become what they want to be. You know what I mean? Like, and it helps you stay relevant. So it's like now I have a totally black arm, and a lot of people, it's a big thing, but a lot of people around here haven't seen it. So
I've actually seen a lot of people.
People are
with black
surprised.
arms.
They're like, "How did you get your arm black?" Like the same way you got your arm that way. But I'm just doing.
I like that. That was the best response, though.
Right, and it's like people always ask why, and it's like, well, then why did you do the way you did? You know what I mean? Why do you have that haircut?
And it's like, yeah, you're right. Makes sense.
This is what I have right now, and I'll finish the black and I'll put white over that,
Which is gonna be sick.
And people are like, you can do that? Like, yeah, you can literally do anything you want to
Yeah.
do, man.
Yes.
I'll tattoo over this whole thing with white if I want to. I'll laser it all off and start over. I'll cut this arm off and have a cyborg arm in 20
Like a Dabber
years.
arm.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you just have to stay with the times. You know what I mean? Stay relevant, and as long as you're doing what people want to see, and also staying true to yourself that little bit, you'll make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those little tattoos are a good idea too, though, because
Dude,
you
that's the most fire thing I've heard.
you can constantly. You drop one on them, they go away. They like it so much, they keep coming back, and they keep coming back to you, and you keep making money because you're obviously charging a certain amount for that little tattoo.
Right.
Rather than one whole big piece, you make like $2,000 off of it or whatever it is. Well, that whole real estate is covered, is gone now.
Right.
So that's less area for you to make money. So those little tattoos.
That's the tough thing with tattooing, is you'll get somebody that's such a good client. I see this dude every other month, or I'll see this girl every other month, and she's always getting something big, and he's getting something dope. but they're gonna run out of space.
Yeah.
If they're not willing to go to the next layer, they're gonna run out of space. It's not like other jobs where like this client's been a loyal client for 25 years. Like, no, I'm gonna have this person, you know, and it's, a lot of times it's younger people that are 18, 19, 20 that they're spending all their money on this right now because they don't have a mortgage, they don't have that big car note, they don't have that. So I mean, it sounds shitty, but I have to get their money while I have the chance to. Because if I don't, somebody else will.
That's
you know, someone's going to get that money. It's going to be me.
Yeah.
I'll stay. I'll do more tattoos than this guy, than this guy, than this guy. And I will.
That same mentality since you were
now
little.
that this is, I have a place, like my kids come here.
Yeah.
They hang out. You know what I mean? And that's a whole nother aspect of me as a tattooer is like, I'm not just work. Like, the girl in Target that follows me on Instagram, she's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're in here!" Like, yeah, I have to buy groceries too. Like, I'm a person.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm a
person. Like, I have to eat, and I have these kids that are following me around constantly that want new toys.
They want Dino Nuggets, so
stuff.
I'm here.
Yeah, my kids love.
So let's kind of like transition into that then. So like, not only are you've lived a crazy life, you're still living a crazy life. It might just be a little more subtle.
Mentality-wise, you're living I mean, you're a pioneer in a lot of ways, too.
Yeah, I guess so.
You're probably inspiring people without even realizing it.
Yeah,
well,
probably.
that's cool. That's cool to think about.
So, like, how is it affecting now that you're tatted up and, you know, you have the image that you have, how does that affect your everyday life when you're out in public, when you're raising your kids, how your kids look at you?
Conferences, shit like that, you know?
That's wild, yeah.
So I'll say, like
this
with
is your dad?
Right. Like with my first daughter that was born, I remember me and, you know, some of my friends, my shitbag friends were there, and we're all standing over my daughter because I was also the first one of my friends to have a kid. You know what I mean? And I was always me first. You know what I mean? Like, no offense, but like,
I'll do it, guys.
I'll fucking pave the way. Like, and I have no problem with that.
I got this, boys. You're right.
But, you know, it's like we're all standing over my daughter, and, you know, my bridge was pierced, my lip was pierced, I got tattoos all over me, my ears are stretched and stuff, and my friends look the same way, and we're all standing over my, you know, this baby is literally like hours old. You know, Riley was so tiny, and it's wild to think about, like, this is my kid. And the nurse looked at us and she was like, "You're gonna scare her." And
she said that?
Yeah, she said that shit to me. And I've never taken offense because I know what I look like to people. You know, it comes with the territory. Like, if you're gonna go hard, like, people are gonna know. Don't be like, "Don't stare at me because I look this way." Like, go ahead. That's why I did it. Like, I hope you fucking like it. And if you don't, I still don't care because it's for me, not for you. It's for me to feel better. So, we're staring at my daughter, and this is all my kids have ever known. You know what I mean? As they got a little older, like, I have 2 baby moms, they have tattoos. My girlfriend, she has tattoos. This is what my kids know. And when they would see people that didn't have any, that was strange. Because I've surrounded myself with like-minded people. Because the way I see it, it is true that you're only as good as those around you. And if I'm around other people that aren't on the same level as me, you know, mentally or, you know, mindset wise, like, where's that going to put me? So I've kept, you know, my circle is small, but we're the same people, you know. So my kids see that, and they know who I am as a person. Yeah. Which I've taught them is more important than obviously what anybody looks like. Because besides tattoos and things like that, you can't really help what you look like. You can't change that. You didn't pick that shit.
I like that.
You know, like I've been, you know, I'm, as weird as it sounds, like I'm a vegan. I don't try to harm any animals or anything like that in any way. I've been trying to teach compassion to my kids for a long time, that it really is about your heart and what's there. And if you have that big heart and you have that lion heart, you'll try harder and do more and help so many people. And I know it sounds lame to say it, but it's like, that's why I tattoo, because it helps people feel better about themselves.
No,
it helps my family. It helps
therapy
me.
for sure.
It is, and it's like that's what I've been trying to preach to my kids for a long time. Is like, you be you, no matter what it is, you know. But be nice doing it. You know what I mean? If somebody doesn't like it, then you can give them a big fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. Say it to them. You know, say fuck you to them. Like, my girl told me to give people the same energy. You know, you know, if someone's being rude to you, that's when you can be rude to them.
Match
Don't
the
be
energy.
Don't be the same. Don't be the person to lead with that.
You're right.
Be
exactly.
nice to everybody. Treat people with respect, no matter what they look.
It's like you're gonna open a door for somebody rather than slamming it in their face.
Right,
Yeah, that's
right.
what you wanna
Oh
do.
man, there was years ago I was trying to hold this door open for this lady, and she was like, "No, I don't need help from your kind."
Oh,
As if I'm
shit.
like not even a person. And
Yeah,
it's
know
like
like,
you're a different
Hey,
species.
what's-
come on,
what's
lady, I'm
sad-
trying to hold the door for
What's
you.
super sad is like, as you grow up and you're an adult, you know more than what a kid would know. So
Right.
with you having more knowledge than a kid, why is a kid able to look past, you know, skin color or
They don't
what your
see that
image,
stuff.
but
They
an
don't see
adult
anything.
can't. An adult can't do that.
No.
Why?
no.
They just see humans.
People are programmed to be scared of things or to fear the unknown.
It's not the norm,
That shit
so
is
they
You
don't.
know
learned,
what I mean?
though.
Yeah.
Like we
Yeah,
said, your
that's
mindset
taught.
you're born with.
That's taught to people.
Hate is taught.
Hate is 100% taught.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your dog doesn't care what you look like.
Not at all.
No.
No,
Nope.
you know, the babies don't care what you look like. If anything, I look more fun than everything else because I'm a
Oh.
giant coloring book.
Dude,
Yeah.
kids probably fucking love you.
Dude, they do because I'm a
You
giant
gotta be the
kid.
coolest dad.
I'm a giant kid. When you know, my ex used to get so mad at me because the kids would be like, "Hey, can we get this?" And I was like, "No, because we're getting a big one." Like,
Yes.
we have a couple trampolines at our house, and we have a zip line in our backyard, and you know, we're having fun. Like, my
Mhm.
girl's constantly taking my kids to water parks and Cedar Point. Like, let's do all this fun stuff. Like, let's have a blast. Like,
Yeah.
when I would go to school functions and stuff like that, I know at first the teachers and stuff are leery of me, but after a little bit, they see that, like, hey, like, I'm here to help. Like,
And your
I'm-
personality has
right.
to shine
Oh
through.
yeah,
Right.
they know that, like, the kids like me because, like, I'm gonna play with them and joke with them and talk to them, and
Yep.
I'll go on field trips and stuff like
Oh,
that.
that's dope.
I'm a dad. I have dad life tattooed on my fingers. Like,
Hashtag
I am
that
a
shit.
dad before anything else, before a tattoo or before a boyfriend or anything like that. I'm a dad. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
awesome.
Respect,
I
respect.
like with all the arm wrestling stuff I used to do, I gave that up to be a dad. If it came down to me giving up tattooing to be a dad, it's gone. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? These
Without-
kids are
without
what's
a thought.
important.
Without
Without
a
a thought.
Yeah.
Yes. Like I'm here for you guys now. Like I said, I lived 1,000 lives, so now my life is go fast, but it's doing kid shit. Like,
Yeah.
I can't wait for the next Disney movie to come
Live
out.
fast and
I
raise
cannot
kids.
wait to, you know, go to the theme park with my kids and to see them now start to experience what I experienced, and for me to try to push them that little bit further. Like, I know this roller coaster's scary.
They need that.
But get on it because
Yeah.
it's not going to kill you.
Mhm.
It won't kill you. It's going to be fun. If you don't like it, you don't have to do it again. But try it.
Try it. Experience
Try
it.
it. See what it's like.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Have fun, and this is when you can learn that you really don't have any boundaries as a person.
Mhm.
You
I like that.
literally can do. You can do it.
And it's
Like,
good that you're doing that because you're allowing your kids' mind to stay so open and creative. You're allowing them to hold on to their
Yes.
imagination.
You're building your legacy. Like all the things you've learned, you're now instilling into your children, so that you live on far after.
Oh,
yeah.
You know, and that to me, that's a beautiful
In a
thing.
That's
sense, I'll
legendary.
live
Is what
forever.
that is.
Yeah.
That's a legend.
I'll live forever.
Yeah.
Like,
Through
I
your
want to
family.
be.
Like that's beautiful.
I want to be remembered as me,
Mhm.
and that's one reason that I've never ever changed who I am. I don't care if a baby comes in here or the fucking Pope. I'm the same guy. I'm not gonna put up a front
Yeah.
and act all this. Like if I have to go to court, or if I'm talking to a cop, or if I'm, you know, talking to a child or whatever it is, I'm the same person all the time.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this is who I am, and you should be you all the time.
Mhm.
If you're putting up a front or acting like, oh, I'm gonna, you know, straighten up and suit and tie and stuff like that because that's what they want out of me, like, don't. Why are you doing
It's
that?
like, oh,
What
they're
someone
coming. They're
expects
coming.
from you.
Hi, how
Right.
are
Oh,
you?
hello, how
Rather
are
than
you,
saying, yo,
sir?
what's up?
Or-
How you doing, man?
Exactly.
Yeah.
When I talk to anybody, I'm gonna talk to you as if you're my friend and as if I've known you forever, because I feel like that'll make everybody more comfortable, even if it's a tattoo client or a server at a restaurant. Like,
Yep.
what's up, dude? Like, how
Yep,
how are you?
exactly.
You know, hey, what are you doing later? You got any more plans for today as I'm tattooing them and stuff like that? Like, make conversation and make people feel welcome and know that this isn't a monster.
You're still a
It's
human.
not the monster that some people think I am.
Right, the
You know what
monster.
I mean? Like, I'm just a dude. I'm just a dad that happens to make
Friends of the
tattoos.
monster.
Now is Riley your oldest?
Riley's my oldest daughter. Yeah, her birthday is this month. She's about to be 14.
Hey.
Oh, damn! Happy
Shout out
birthday!
Riley.
Shout out
Happy
Riley!
birthday.
And
Happy
then
birthday.
I have
So-
another daughter named Harlow who's 11, and I have a 5-year-old daughter named Dylan.
dope names.
Those
all
are,
through,
those are my
across the
dudes.
board.
I never knew that there could be 3 polar opposites, but there are.
He said, "Those are my dudes."
Those are my dudes, man. I love those guys.
I mean, 14, like, she's gonna be grown here before you know it.
She's a little
Yeah, dude.
adult.
Oh, I
young
know.
adult.
I literally cried in Michael's last
Thinking
night.
about
Oh,
it.
being a
Thinking
dad will
about
turn
her.
you into the softest bitch
Oh my
so
God.
fast.
And also the meanest at times, and it's like, I know I preach compassion to people, but there are times like, if you fuck with my kids, I'll light you on fucking fire.
I believe that. I live by that.
Yeah.
I would live by that.
That's
for
like
sure.
that's like a mama bear mentality, dude.
Yeah.
Bears are usually pretty nice when their cubs are around. You look at their cub, they want to fuck you up.
Yeah, dude. Then that's how it is. Like, these are my kids, dude. Like, no
Mhm.
matter what, these are my kids.
Mhm.
Like, I will do anything I have to for them, even if it's stay late at work, wake up early to take you guys to school, even though my job doesn't start till noon. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
exactly.
doing whatever
I
have
guarantee
to.
you, your kids will be that much more successful than a kid who maybe came from, their dad's a cop, their mom was a doctor. And
Yeah,
they
easy,
live,
dude.
Hold on.
Easy, Jesus
hold on.
Christ.
But like, and they, I just feel like your kids, just the fact
Sorry,
that the
Dad.
things that they're experiencing, Mr. Taliano, the things that they're experiencing, going through in life with you as their dad, I feel like they have that much more of an advantage when they get older. When they
Leading with
become an
love
adult.
wins. Love wins every time.
100%. 100%.
And Riley's at an age where I know you can see that now.
Oh, yeah. And love wins is one of, like, Riley's mottos with her.
Oh,
being,
ironic, huh?
Riley being a rainbow, I'll say. So, like, I see her at 14, and I remember when I was 14, and I'm still the same person as
Yeah.
I was at 14.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's like, I know who you are.
Those are the best
And
kind of
then I
people,
love it.
honestly.
You know what I mean?
You
It's
never
like-
let go of yourself.
Right.
That's good.
It's like, there's things about Riley that it's like, if I was going to, like, literally make and program a person, I probably wouldn't have put in there.
Mhm.
But Riley is Riley. Unapologetically, all the time, she is her. And I can say that you got that from me.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? Like, even though I don't always like it, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, this bitch will not clean her room. It doesn't matter if I threaten to take everything out of it.
Yeah.
You know, like, she shares a room with Harlow, and it's like Harlow's room is tidy and done, and like Harlow's like reading a book, and Harlow fucking finds flaws and like, oh, this is spelled wrong. Like, you are so smart, and Riley's
Yeah.
over here like, I'm painting this and I'm fucking this up, and I'm like,
Headbutting
you're
the wall.
so different.
Yes.
And I love you both for who you are. And then Dylan
That's
is
great.
a crazy lunatic that is different than both of them.
And Dylan's 5, right?
Dylan's 5
Okay.
and the
Wild
shit.
age.
She is so cool, dude. Like, Riley's cool because she's Riley. Harlow's cool because she's Harlow. And Dylan is cool because she's Dylan. All of my kids are who they are.
Yes.
And nobody can change it, even each other. They don't change each other. They can't. They'll try
Yeah.
to get each other into other things and stuff, and they don't want to.
Right.
Harlow will forever be outer space and dinosaurs, and I want to read a book. You know what I mean? I want to learn about this. I want to learn about that. Harlow is a genius. That kid is straight A's, and Riley's in school fucking it up. You know what I mean? But Riley's like, I'm gonna do my makeup, and I can do all the TikTok dances, and Dylan's just like, Dylan's
I'm
over
5.
here like, Dylan, dude, she is like an anomaly. Dylan comes in here, and everybody in the shop knows Dylan. The other, like, adults come in, you know, the adult tattooers that we have in here, they come in and Dylan walks in, it's like she owns this bitch. Like, everybody is all eyes
She's a
on
vibe,
Dylan.
huh?
Dylan is a vibe, yes.
She's a spotlight. She's a
they-
show stealer.
Vibe check.
Yes,
She's
dude,
a
like,
show stealer.
everyone is gonna watch every single thing she does because she's full of charisma. You know, she is so charismatic, and I will say,
She's
her
got a
mom is a
puffy
good
chest.
person, but Dylan gets that from me. You know what I mean? Like, people want to see Dylan. People
Right.
want to see Riley. People want to see Harlow.
It seems like each of your kids took a piece of you.
Right.
Yes,
You gave it.
yes.
So there's three pieces of you. You gave each one.
Yes. You know,
Dad life, that shit.
Dad life,
Hell
dude.
yeah.
Fuck, Kate, we're having a baby.
and I feel like that's to me more important than like any sponsors that I have for tattooing, as far as I've got from in tattooing, or as far as I got skating, or as far as I got in arm wrestling and everything like that. Like, I mean, not to toot my own horn, but I'm a fucking world champion in the
Yeah,
whole world.
that's
I
insane.
was ranked 1.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody would beat me.
Mhm.
Not that day.
Right.
Like, being a dad is so much cooler.
Way more rewarding.
That's so much cooler to see
It's
these
not
people that I'm
anything-
building.
Mm-hmm.
You can never put that into words.
Right.
And that sounds cliche too, you know, like, oh, you won't know till you get there. For me, as soon as I heard Mia's, like, her little, like, first breath, her little cry, dude, like, I'm crying in there. And Jocelyn's
Right.
looking at me like, shut the fuck up. And I'm like,
Right.
cut the umbilical cord, like
I
trying
just
to
shot a
kind of keep it
cannonball.
together.
Oh, you're crying.
But I said, I started crying the day she was born, and I have not stopped since.
You won't.
And it's awesome.
You won't. You'll never stop being a parent. I don't care if my kid is 55 years old. If they call me like, Dad, I need a little bit of help. I don't care if it's financially, emotionally, whatever it is. Hey, I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I'm going to listen to whatever you need to talk about, and I'm going to help you in any way I can, and I always will, because I grew up without.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
everybody wants to give their kids a little more than what they had, and if I can give these kids the world and the moon, I'm going to give both of those, and I'm going to try to see if I can grab Mars while I'm at it.
Damn.
I got
like
dogs.
that shit.
I
like that.
I got dogs. I got 3 dogs. My one dog, Zeus. What he
I got
gets
dogs,
from
I'm
me,
outta here.
he likes to sniff butts, so that's what he gets from me. My
I've
dog
done that.
Titan likes to lick balls. He got that portion from me, and then Vino likes to bite people, so they each got a piece of me. So
Hell yeah.
that's
There
what
you
I
go.
got.
Represent that shit.
There you go.
Guys, we're going to take a quick break and we will be right back. Alrighty, guys, and we are back. And I want to talk about the birthplace of Total Immortal. Now, you did hint earlier that you started at a shop. A few years in, you ended up taking off. How did this come to be? Like, what is the story behind Total Immortal?
So Total Immortal came about where I was working in that shop, and I will say that working in that shop was the best thing that could have happened for me, because the guy that owned it really let me be myself, and that shop taught me a lot about how I was going to run my shop. It's like you learn from your parents on how you want to be a parent. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
Here's what you are going to do, here's what you're not going to do. And there wasn't really a lot of knots from that shop. But I learned that, like, the way I run my shop is I don't take any of their money.
Uh-huh.
I'll make my own money. And that drives me to go harder. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I have to make my own money. They pay booth rents here to, like, help me pay the bills. Because
Right.
going out on your own, like, when I was in that other shop, I paid a booth rent, and that was my only bill, besides supplies and shit. But once I came here, now I have, to pay for the building.
Yeah,
I have to pay gas,
It's a
electric.
big responsibility.
I have to pay the internet. We have Netflix and Hulu and shit like
It's
that.
your second
here.
home.
And yeah, it's like, plus just keeping this place looking the way that it does, because if I'm going to be here all day, every day, I want it to be like as nice as my house.
I mean, your fucking
You know?
bathroom is immaculate.
Yeah,
I
we
took
have
a golden
glittery
fist
walls
before
in
this
there.
episode, and it was amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
I even washed my hands.
We have
wanted
hand
to.
soap from Bath and Body Works. We're the real deal.
That's the
You
big
know?
shit. You know you're winning if you,
You
get
know
that.
what? Hey, we have tampons and stuff in the bathroom in case girls start their periods. We kinda,
But don't flush them.
Don't
Do
flush
not
them.
flush
That's a sign.
them.
Like just little things like that are like an amenity that like I feel like just going that little bit of an extra
Yeah.
mile, like having a fridge and a bunch of snacks and
Mhm.
Yeah.
a fireplace and video games and stuff around. We used to have a half pipe in here, like just
Yep.
things to be a little different than the last place. And when I went to open my own spot, I wanted my shop to be unlike anything else that anybody's ever been to that was financially in my means.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I've always been really DIY. Like I will do
Yeah.
it myself. You know,
Yeah.
do it yourself. You know, and you build this baby and make it what you want to make it.
I feel like you hit it
Ground
right on
up.
the head. Like
Yeah.
looking at it, I feel like
You know, in this place to
You did
me
what you envisioned.
is it is different. You know what I mean? Like it's not.
It's an experience.
You're not gonna walk in and hear like there's not some big biker guy, which I mean I ride motorcycles, but it's not like a big biker guy standing at the front like, oh, what do you want? He's
Yeah.
smoking a cigarette and shit. He's got, everybody here looks and acts different and has a different background and does a different style of tattoo. That way nobody's stepping on each other's toes because
Yeah.
we don't have two people that do the same thing. That's one thing that I look for hiring somebody. Like I wanted my place to be a little bit different and give you a different experience. That's why here we all joke around with each other. There's nothing that's off limits here. When my friends here make fun of me for the way that I look, that's what I look for in somebody that's going to work
Yeah.
here. You need to be like-minded. I want the people around me to be
Right.
the same as me, even though we all are culturally different backgrounds and physically look different, even though we all have tattoos. That's like the only thing that's the same about us. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? We're all totally different people, and I wanted to build something that would live on, that was immortal.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I like
so,
that.
Total Immortal is a song that I liked when I was young by what was my favorite band forever. It's a song by a band called AFI, and I've always resonated with that song of not being different. The seasons change, but I don't. I stay the same. You know what I mean? And that's what this place will be. It'll live on.
That's your life story.
You know what I mean? And people will remember that, like, I did this here. You know what I mean? Like,
I will never forget.
I built this here, and like I'll pass it down to my kids and stuff like that. You know, like I just wanted it to be something. I really wanted it to be something different because I've always felt like in a crowded room I'm alone because I stand out different than everybody else does.
Yeah,
I've always known that. That's not me trying
that.
to be like big headed or think more of myself or anything. But I know that no matter how many people are there, if I open my mouth, I'll be the center of attention. If I even walk through, people are gonna move, you know, and they'll.
Have you silenced crowds walking into places before?
Oh yeah, dude.
I'm imagining like weddings and stuff. People who might not know you, you walk in and they're like, oh.
Like
ladies say, you're gonna scare your baby.
That's a cool looking dude.
A couple examples were like, we were walking through the middle of Cleveland, me and my girlfriend and her brother, and I was telling her brother, like, watch how many people won't even look at me in the face. They won't. They'll literally cross the street when I'm coming because.
Head down.
Yeah. You know, my mom told me when I first started doing conventions, like, be careful in those big cities. Like, if you see somebody scary, across the street, I'm like, Mom, I'm that guy.
I'm scary.
I'm the one they don't want to see. Cross the street.
Especially when you make eye contact and they're like,
they'll look at my eyes for a second and they look away. Like, we've pointed it out to so many of our friends. Like, people they don't look at me. And when they do, it's like, I know I have a lot to look at, but they're trying to be nice and not stare. But it's like, I know you want to look. You know what I mean?
Dude, because you're a walking piece of art.
It's like a naked grandma.
And then when you got an
want to
old,
look.
you see an old lady
It feels a little naughty.
You see an old lady look at you. She's like,
that's
but
a fucking reference.
Like, when we're at, if we're like at an amusement park or something like that, like, I don't ever have to move aside to let people walk through. Like, I'm gonna walk through with my family, and not to sound rude, but like, people are gonna move for me because I'm not gonna be the one that cowers and backs down to anything. If I end up running into somebody or something like that because we were both walking straight ahead, I'm never mad at that guy. Like, fuck you. Like, we shoulder checked. I'm like, there's another one of me.
Yeah, it's like an alpha thing, kind of. Honestly.
Yeah. And if anyone's got the strongest smelling piss, it's gonna be me. You know what I mean? Like, I'll be the alpha and the omega. Like, I'll be all of it and then some. You know, so
that's from a movie. I am the alpha and the omega, baby.
It's from a very old book.
Oh, no, it's from Bruce Almighty. Bruce Almighty when he was yelling at
the
God.
Bible? Okay.
He's like, I am the alpha.
I love that.
You had one thing to look up. I forgot.
You had one job.
One job, Tommy. But yeah, so I built this place and I wanted it to be special. And I feel like anybody who does own a business, that's how they go about it. Is they want to make theirs better. They want to stand out in the industry, and it's like, I will make sure that I stand out.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you've essentially turned this into, it's not just a place, it's an experience. It's not just a place to get a tattoo. I'm sure that you have repeat clients that might just come in here just to fucking come.
Oh yeah,
you know?
There's so many times that people come and they will sit with their friend who's getting a tattoo that takes 3, 4, 5 hours. You know what I mean? If I'm doing something that's big, and it's going to take me, it's going to be a while. They come just because I just want to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm going to sit with my friend even though I'm not getting a tattoo just because this place is fun.
Yeah.
And it's the same even if it's like one of the other tattooers here, their clients' friends will come because I heard that place is a rocket.
Yeah, and you go to a lot of tattoo places and your friend will just sit in one chair and it's an awkward like office chair.
Or it's in a cubicle.
Yeah.
You feel like you're in office space but for tattoos.
You come here and you're lounging, you're hanging out, they got couches. I mean, bro, like this place is definitely for your eyes.
It's a big open room because I wanted the feel of having, togetherness.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to be able to see I want to see what you're doing. I want you to see what I'm doing. And I want to talk to you and I want to joke with you and I want everybody to feel like everyone is included because everyone is welcome here.
I like that.
There's not a single thing that separates you guys from each other here.
No, there's nothing. It's one big open room. It's like 5,000 square feet in here. It's a big place.
Hey.
And it's
you.
right. I look like it. But it's a big room. I mean, we have like little paper wall dividers if we're doing like an area of the body where somebody wants to be, a little bit covered up. But other than that, it's open. and nothing is off limits. Everything is open.
I find that because obviously, other than yesterday when we came to set up, I'd never really been in here before. It's cool to actually like kind of learn about you and see that almost naturally your personality came to life in the form of a building. You know, like everything that you are, that you choose to like lead with love and no judgment and surround yourself with, like, it all came together.
Yeah,
in
what's
this
on the
work
inside of your
environment.
head, you threw it out and you put it out
And
here.
it might have been intentional, but it might have just been unintentional, and like
It flowed.
that. There's some beauty in that.
I think it is a bit of both, because there's so many things that in my life are like very. I don't think I'm OCD. Some people say it, but I am very meticulous. Things go where they go. They go in this spot, and you do things the way that they're supposed to be done. Don't cut a corner, because why? Do it the right way.
Right time.
And do it better than everyone else was doing it. And the way to do that is not cutting corners. You know what I mean? If there's a way to do it and make it better, make it better. And I think that does show even in just the layout, the way the building looks, the way that we tattoo, the way that I interact with every single person here. When people leave, I tell everybody that walks out the door, "I love you," as a joke. Most people say it back. A lot of people don't; they just giggle. But a lot of times, like, they can't wait to come back and be like, "Oh, I should have said it," you know. Like, "I love you." Like, they think it's fun. Like, in that part of like that little seed that I've planted of love, in every single person that comes in here, even if it's just somebody that walked in that like, I want to set up an appointment. I've never seen this person before in my life, and I didn't even tattoo them. They didn't get tattooed here at all. They were here for 2 minutes. But I love you. Just a little thing like that. I feel like they remember it. Yeah. The guy with the tattooed face and long hair, and he said he loved me. Like, that guy's wild. Like,
but it was
like,
cool.
But they'll remember that and they'll want to come back.
It's the little things. It's definitely the little things. And this is your baby, making it like it all worthwhile. Right. For me, from the outside, you know, I understand enough about the tattoo world. Not a lot, but enough. Right. I feel like anytime that I'm in the greater Cleveland area and a tattoo is brought up, oh, I'm thinking about getting a tattoo, 90% of the time this place gets mentioned. 90% of the time. That's insane. That just shows the influence that you have in the world of tattoo that Total Immortal carries throughout the world of tattoos. So for me, an outsider, I think that's an awesome thing. But for you guys that are doing this with your blood, your sweat, your tears, that obviously comes from something, right? Right. When did you guys start realizing, if you ever really did, that you guys were like getting a mass following, or there's some hype behind you? Like, where did that come from?
Whenever people talk to me about tattoos, like, where'd you get this, or, you know, where can I go? I don't say anywhere else. I always say this place. Always.
It's always, oh, we know Boomer. We know Pablo. Like, all the time. You guys are doing it for real. Yeah, I mean, Pablo and I have known for a long time. I think you grow up knowing I'm going to be a big deal at something. Yeah. You don't exactly know when it's going to be, but you know it's going to be.
Yeah, you can tell yourself, I'm not supposed to be an average Joe.
No. Yeah. I'm not Joe down the road. I'm me, and everyone's going to know it. Yeah. Everyone's going to know it. And I think that, you know, Pab feels that same thing. So he does a very different style than I do. I can do black and gray, but it doesn't look the way Pablo does. You know, he has his own style with black and gray.
I feel like you just love color.
I do love color tattoos. They're so fun.
I've never seen someone stick color like you.
They're so fun to do, man. It's so much fun for me.
Show them the neck. Show the camera the neck just one time. Beautiful.
And it's like we knew that making this place, you know, I have to keep up with Pablo, and Pablo's got to keep up with me. Like, if I'm
pushing each other.
Yeah,
I like that.
And it's the same thing with the other people that we have here, because everybody here is growing at such a rapid rate. You know what I mean?
I believe that.
Like the apprentices that we have, they came in here like they sucked. You guys know you suck.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And the thing was, it's like, I know, I can tell by talking to you, even if you're shy, I know what potential you have. I see it. I can fucking smell that shit on you. So I know how good you can be. You just needed a little bit of guidance in, like, hey, like, don't do it this way. Try it like this and see if that works out for you. It might not, but if it does, this is how I've been doing it.
It's almost kind of offensive to allow your fellow tattooers to be stagnant.
Yes, it is. Don't get stale.
Oh yeah,
You
that's
gotta
probably the
go.
worst thing as
Keep
an artist.
going.
You
Try
allowing them
harder.
to be content, I feel like is very offensive. So the
Yeah.
fact that you guys are always pushing each other, growing,
Right.
that
in I have not. There's 9 of us here, so
That's
it's
a big
like,
group, too.
It's a decent sized group.
Yeah.
We have one of the
It's like the
bigger
Justice
shops
League.
around, so it's like if these 4 are getting better, you fucking better too.
Right.
Yeah.
Because what you don't want to be the worst one.
yeah.
No.
all
You know what
8
I
of us
mean?
are great, and the 9th one
And
is
to
just
be honest, I
fucking
don't
shitty.
think there is a worst one.
There's
I
a
don't think
level
any
of
of us are the worst
competitiveness.
ones. We're it's like we do different shit, but like if my tattoos look this way and Pablo's tattoos look this way and Stevie's tattoos look this way, then this dude's got to step up because
Yeah.
whatever you're doing has to be close to what we're doing.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you're
Yeah.
gonna feel bad. So I know that it makes them try harder.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And we don't ever knock each other. Like, hey man, like that's dope.
Yeah.
That's got to be great
Try-
having people
yes.
around you to push you, because a lot of you see it all the time. Like people get jealous of each other, and they're
Mhm.
like, "Damn, like you're getting good. I'm gonna try to tear you down. I don't want to help
No.
you to get better."
And that's
Not
what it's
here.
not about. That's
Yeah.
what it
Not here.
shouldn't be
Yeah.
about.
There's
Right.
no
Yeah.
competition between us that's ever said. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I know that mentally they're at the same place I am because I mean I'm a pretty good tattooer. I don't usually try to brag too much, but I'm pretty good. But it's like I see some of the newer people that we have in here, and dude, they're getting so good.
That's dope.
So it's like for me, it's like I gotta stay better. Than
I
you.
gotta stay
It's
good.
like working out with your buddy whose bench press is going up, and you're like, shit.
He's
I
got
got you
hands.
into this. How are you benching more than me, bro?
Right, like I gotta stay stronger. I gotta stay faster.
What
I
about the
gotta-
legs, bro? You do your legs?
Right. So it's like every piece of
Start
you,
picking.
every part that you do has to be good. Because if it's not, I can't put something out that's bad. Because if I do, my name is on that. And,
Yeah.
And I feel like it brings the whole shop down as a whole.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
You butcher a piece. They're
And then
like,
you got
what
everyone
the
else
fuck?
mad at you. It's like,
Right.
dude, why'd you do that?
And it's
Now
like
we're
if I
shitty, too.
don't stay doing a good job, everybody here, their jobs rely on it, their families rely on it.
Yeah.
We all rely on
It's your
each other to
livelihood.
do good
Mhm.
because if one of us is doing bad, then the shop as a whole looks bad, and we have kids.
Yeah.
We have families, we have girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever it is, wives and husbands. We have to stay all pushing harder, and that's all I've looked for in people. It's
Yeah.
not if you're an amazing tattooer, but do you have the potential to be?
And the heart. Yeah.
Yeah. Are
Can you
you gonna
Are you
try
willing
harder?
to go to that level?
Yeah.
Are you willing
Right.
to push yourself?
And that's what it is. Like I said earlier, like I am ready to die right now. I will go as hard as I can until I die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what I don't know if they realize it, but that's who they are too.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just helping you realize your
Mhm.
potential because I know what's in there.
Yeah.
I see it. I see it in you. You know, like they're gonna do.
And I feel like people need that
everybody
person
here,
in their life.
mark my words, everybody here that works in this shop will be a fucking huge name in the next few years.
And I believe that. And I think anyone purposely coming to watch this interview already believes that.
Yes.
For sure.
Right, you know, Gina, Stevie, Shane, Carlos, Hannah, Marissa, Kylie, myself, Pablo, like people will know those names.
Mhm.
Watch.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And if they don't, that person won't be here for much longer.
Mhm.
Right.
That's kind of how it's been. They're going to fall off and they'll weed themselves out. It's not me that's going to push you away
No,
or
never.
anything
It's
like
never
that.
that.
I will always embrace everyone's here
But
as
run
if
with
they're
the
my
pack.
kids.
Yeah.
You gotta
But
run with
you
the
gotta
pack.
run with the pack.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you will get left behind, and that's what keeps everybody pushing harder.
Yeah, one bad apple can literally ruin the whole.
A whole bunch.
Whole
Sometimes
bunch
it
of
ain't
apples
good to
in the
be a
bag.
lone wolf. Realistically, sometimes that isn't good. You gotta stay with your people, especially in a unintentional competitive market.
Right.
I mean, tattoos I don't think have ever been as big as they are.
And it is a cutthroat business.
Oh, I believe that. I believe you on that.
Everybody wants to bring down the
The
big
best.
guy.
There's a
Everybody
lot
wants
of
to point
hate.
it out.
I'm
That's
sure.
crazy.
Oh,
It
yeah,
shouldn't be like that.
It shouldn't, but that's just kind of how it is, and
But
you
that's
have
how
to,
things
you gotta
keep-
roll with it.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I
how
mean?
things keep going.
You know, there's tattooers that I don't always get along with, but I try my best to not badmouth them. Even if someone does it about me, it's like I know deep down you love me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
I like
honestly,
that.
you're doing
And-
something right because
and-
your name is in their mouth.
Yeah,
and they're hating.
You're thinking about me. You know what I mean? And all I can say to that is like if you want to spend your time bad mouthing somebody else, stop putting that out there.
Put it into yourself.
Not even if it's just about me. If it's about anybody, stop putting that out there.
That's bad
As
energy.
soon,
Yeah.
as soon as you start feeling better about things, and talking better about things, better things will happen for you.
But not only that, but like if you redirect that energy that you're putting out to talk about those people and reinvest it into yourself, imagine how much further you can actually get.
Right.
People sleep on the potential that they could potentially carry.
Everybody has that
They
potential.
doubt themselves.
I know
and they tear you
without
down.
a doubt in my mind that everybody has that potential to be a really big deal, but who's going to use it?
And that's like, so like, let's break this down into like layman's terms. It's like you said earlier, like, you're not saying it to brag, but you could essentially do anything you wanted.
Yeah.
It's not because you're an expert in this. Like, if you wanted to go be a motocross / brain surgeon, you could do it
Shit.
because your heart and your mind will
Right.
allow you to get
You'd
there.
probably be a badass stripper.
Hell yeah, I'll call you
I got
Turbo.
We have a strip club in my house.
Man, bro.
Turbo. I'm gonna start name dropping that.
Like and that is it, man. Like when I was younger, it was almost, you couldn't wait for someone to say you can.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Let me show you.
Let me. What's up? Here it is.
What the
Yes.
fuck is
my
up,
Uncle
Kyle?
Mike told me the first time I stepped on a motorcycle, on a dirt bike, he said, you can jump that hill across the street. It was this long ass hill. He said, jump it, over, short ways. And don't go more than like second or third gear. Fuck you, Mike.
Yeah, I
Like,
already know how this
I'm
ends.
jumping this bitch long ways.
Scrub
I
the
never
top.
even rode a motorcycle before. But I'm just fifth gear, wide open, whoom, over this fucking hill, and I overshot it, bottomed out, and
Fucking
I'm still
Eagle
on it.
Knievel.
I'm
Loved
going
it.
towards
Loved
the
it.
road, and I had to lay this bitch down, and everybody thought it was hilarious because I'm like, I will go bigger and harder,
Yep.
even if I fucking die. I'll never stop saying that, and I'll never change because that's just who I am.
That's good though.
That's why you haven't
And you
died
own
yet, bro,
that.
because you keep
I
pushing
can't
forward.
be killed, man.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
immortal.
Exactly.
I can't
I like
die.
that.
These guys always joke around and call me a vampire. They're like, that dude will never die.
The Lost Boys.
I'll never get old,
That's a good
ever.
movie.
When I get old, that day is the day that I die. You know
I
what
like
I mean?
that. I love that.
Already 63, bro.
Tommy's not letting the 63
Not let it go. I know how old he is.
birth certificate?
Motherfucker. Shut.
So when you guys first started, obviously you grew at a rapid speed. You picked up a sponsor every year since you started. I don't mean like all
On
at the same,
average,
but
yeah.
like
you average
6
it out,
sponsors, 6 years. That's a big accomplishment. But another big thing is just like who you have coming in says a lot about the place sometimes, especially in the world of art. I mean,
Yeah.
you've done some big jobs, some
Yeah, I've tattooed
awesome work.
some semi-famous people. Like legit, like a girl that I was just tattooing. Drake is dating her now.
Oh, wow.
It's like,
Like
you see what I mean?
everybody's been talking about this Drake's with this girl in Dodger Stadium. I tattooed her. Like
Kiki.
sorry, Joanna. Like like
I love my bed. and
that,
my-
like that's what it is. Like we have famous people that come through here and we know them by name, and the same as I've always been, I treat them the same way I
Right.
treat everybody
As you would
else.
talk to us.
Right.
I don't care if it's, Rashad Higgins, Hollywood, that's my dude. When
Hey.
he comes through, I treat him the same way I do everybody else. Like
That's amazing.
You're just a dude to me, and I should just be a dude to you.
Who do you think the biggest person you've tattooed?
Physically, the biggest person.
Not
probably Njoku.
Not
He was huge.
That's a
physically biggest. I mean,
monster.
like
That man is a beast.
the most famous person, most important person out of all the people that came in. Like the one that's on the top. Like, yo, this guy's fucking legit. He's famous. Or she's famous. Sorry, not sexist or anything.
I don't know, man. It's like there's a lot of people that come through that are very famous that I don't even tattoo them. Like that's a Pablo client or something like
Okay.
that. Like I couldn't even say.
No.
Like I don't even know. There's been so many tattoos and so many people that I didn't even know were a big deal.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like people come through and it's like I don't know if this dude is a rapper or if this dude is a professional athlete or if this girl is a cheerleader for the Cavs.
That's
like,
pure humbleness
I don't know
right there,
I don't know
really.
who you are because I treat everyone the same
Right,
way.
right.
You're still paying for your tattoo. You
Right.
are still
Right.
you're at my house right now. You're here for me or
Yes.
one of my people. You're here for us. So.
That's
I
real.
think that all of that, like the most important person that I tattoo is whoever's in the chair right now. You know what I
That's
mean?
probably the
I'm gonna
perfect
treat
answer.
you guys all the same way, and unless it's my girlfriend, you know what I mean? Like you just fucking lay back down. You don't need a break yet. You're
We'll
fine.
get it on.
You'll be fine.
I love that. What's also super cool, I mean, that's a major accomplishment to your work, and I like that. Like, you're always giving your undivided attention to the piece you're doing. For me, like, I get to look at your work daily. Like, I mean, my girlfriend's Total Arm is done by you, and you always do very small but unique things to whatever piece you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, her skull's got the vampire tooth, like little
There's
things
always
like
a little
that.
piece of me in there.
And that's what's so cool is like far before I knew you, I knew you. You know,
Right.
I knew you from your work, and I was like, just the little things you do, it resonated with me from far before. So it's really cool to kind of see that it resonates with everyone else.
Right.
Because people that are a big deal can go anywhere. The fact that they choose to come here says a lot more about you than I think it does them.
Because you can go anywhere to get a tattoo,
You know?
really. And now, I'm not saying anywhere. I'm just saying, like, you can go to a known tattoo shop and get a good tattoo. But it's the choice of where you want to go. I'm going to choose to come here.
Right.
Not just because of the tattoo, but because of the environment. I like who's tattooing.
Everything as a total.
Yeah.
Yep.
As a total.
They're sold.
Total Immortal.
I think
Total
what sells
Immortal.
people is, I love you.
Trademark.
That's why they're coming back.
Right.
I love you.
And it's like I have tried to put a piece of me in every single tattoo that I've done. Not that I'm gonna like be big headed and put my initials in there or hide a dick in it or anything like that. But it's like one of my buddies that I've known from conventions and stuff, Justin, he was on a TV show called Tattoos After Dark and stuff. He's a pretty big deal. And a girl that I had tattooed a back piece on, this girl Sam Molnar, she was in Florida, and Justin just so happened to be there also, and she's got a whole back piece for me, and she was like, hey, some guy just came up to me on the beach and recognized my back and said, Boomer did that, didn't he?
Yo.
And she messaged me, and right after she did, Justin did, and he was like, hey man, I just saw a back piece of you, and I think that thing was dope, and I only posted it on my page because it was still in progress.
Shit.
So he just knew it was my work by looking at it.
By seeing your
You know what I
your
mean?
style.
And that's another tattooer in the industry who's a big name. Justin's won a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And he's been on TV and stuff like that. And, you know, people can knock TV shows of what tattooing all they want, but people know who those people are.
Absolutely.
I mean, they're on that show for a reason. So somebody knowing that I did it is a big deal. My buddy Jeremy that used to work here, you know, we were at a tattoo convention called Hell City. It is one of the hardest tattoo conventions to
Where is
even
it?
get into. It's actually held in Ohio, in
dope.
Columbus, but they spell
wow.
it K-I-L-L, Columbus.
That's sweet.
Yeah, this dude Derb owns the convention rights and everything. He owns a huge tattoo company called True Tubes, and he owns a really nice shop as well. But we were at Hell City, and at Hell City, when you enter the contest for Tattoo of the Day or whatever tattoo you're doing, you go up on the stage and you say, hi, my name is Joe. I got tattooed by this guy out of this area. Here's my tattoo. And the crowd looks at it, the judges look at it, blah, blah, blah. Jeremy that used to work here, a friend of mine, I tattooed a Legend of Zelda tattoo on him. It was a Cuban Link. He was wearing Link. It was a Link from Legend of Zelda, but he had on a Cuban Link neck because he was like a gangster. He's got like a mask on and shit. So he walks up onto the stage, and before, like, all the tattoos up there were like these crazy hyper realism. Like, these guys are so good, dude. They're
Dialed
so
in,
good.
yeah.
Like the best of the best tattooers. And Jeremy walks up there, and before he could even say his name, the announcer goes, Boomer did that. And I didn't win the competition, but in my mind, I was like, I fucking won.
One.
That's an
That
huge
dude
win.
knew it was mine before he even talked to
He didn't
me.
have to
And-
say a word.
and it's because my tattoo, to be honest, it shouldn't even have been up there. It wasn't even the same style as everybody else's, but mine looked different. Mine looked like I did it, and
Right.
I know that, and Jeremy knew that, you know, and the announcer knew that, and that meant something to me because I'm trying to do my thing, my way, and people, I think people respect that. If people want to hate on it, they can hate on it, but I know deep down, they're just wishing that they could find what their style is, and I got lucky enough to find what mine is.
Where they're calling. I mean, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why people come. You
Right.
know, people could say whatever. If they don't have your work on them, it's like you said, keep it moving. Doesn't matter.
Right.
You're still going to be you.
Right.
You have a mass following, mass clientele. I mean, and those people
Almost started a cult.
live and die by it,
Right.
though. Live and die
Right.
by the hand of Boomer. I mean, that's an amazing thing. So let me ask you about the competition in particular. Was that judge or announcer a well-accomplished artist themselves?
He is not a tattoo artist, but he has been emceeing Hell City the entire time that Hell City's
So he's a
been
big
going.
deal.
He knows tattoos. He knows good tattoos. He doesn't physically do them, but he knows more than maybe you and I do. He knows the big names. The big names know him, and he can see good tattoos. And the judges up there from all over the world, you know, whether it's Puerto Rico, America, you know, whatever, other countries. A lot of those guys don't speak English. They know shit. They know what's good and what's not.
Oh yeah.
Which is weird almost that you name drop who did your tattoo before the judges even see it, but it almost doesn't matter because everybody is top tier. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, that's
everybody.
world.
It would make me
class.
feel like
Yeah.
if I went up, if my tattoo was presented up there and an announcer just blurted my name out, it would make me feel like you've been looking at my pages, you've been looking at my work, you like my work, how do you know
You
me?
see
Like,
me.
Yeah.
It's like you
So
see
yeah,
me.
I would feel good about that too.
We got into somehow this party in Chicago after a tattoo convention. It was like we were just jokingly calling it the Ink Master Party because everybody in there had been on TV. And
That's
somehow-
funny.
Somehow we were in this fucking party, and I knew who everybody in there was. I'm like, I know who all these guys are because they're all so good, and a lot of these guys do the style that I do or close to it. And like Pablo didn't know who a lot of them were because he does a different style. But as we were talking to them, they're like, "Oh, you're Boomer. I've heard your name before," and that to me was a huge win. And that's like now, you know, these guys with hundreds of thousands of followers, like Tyler, has got hundreds of thousands. He had, I think, over 1 million at one point.
Jesus.
And Tyler's a big deal, Tyler Nolan. And it's like now Tyler follows me. You know what I mean? And
Which
it's
is
like,
sweet.
That's what I was talking about with the influence on the industry.
Yep.
Like they know who I am and I know who they are, and there's a mutual respect there. Even though I'm not on TV tattooing and stuff like that, you know, I'm with these dudes. This is my group of people, and they know who we are.
Yep.
You know, and now they know who Pablo is and stuff like that. And it's like that's all we've ever been trying to do. I don't need to be in the best in the world, even though I'm going to try to be.
Yeah.
But if I can put a little bit of me into their style now,
Then you
that's
ultimately
what I'm
won.
trying.
You
And I'm not
Yeah,
saying I
whether
do,
they say it or not,
but I
it's
know,
a huge.
I know those guys are following me for a reason. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because they're wanting to see what I'm doing.
Pick up pointers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what we all do to each other. Nobody ever is like, I do 100% original. No one has the same
Authentic.
style as me. Like, we're all biting off of each other
They're
a little
capping.
bit. Even if it's like, you blended those two colors and that shit looks cool. Or those colors look cool together. Or the way that you laid this thing out, like, that shit's dope. Or, you know, whatever. Like, how did you do this image opposed to how I did this image? Like, that's why we follow each other.
Right.
I want to see how you're doing a skull. I want to see how you're putting this in the tattoo. Like, how did you get those things to work together? Because as a tattooer, it's not like we get to pick every time what we tattoo.
It's not a holy
And
grail
it's,
to it either.
it's permanent when you're doing
giving
it.
us what you want, and a lot of the times it's 4 or 5 things that don't go together at all. But we have to make this thing go
Yup.
together, and we have to make it quality enough to where like a magazine's like, hey, we want to
Yup.
post this.
And it's
Yup.
wild because you fucking do it.
Right.
You actually do that.
right. Like
You come out on top every time.
I'm trying, man. It's like I'm just
Giving it
trying to
your
get
heart,
my
though.
shit to look the way that I think it should, and it's like if I can make everything look fake, I want it to look fake, and that's why if anybody looks at my page or anything, I always post videos because I want to show that like this isn't. I didn't edit this photo.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't enhance this. I didn't make the whites whiter. I didn't blend anything more with a blur tool or anything like. This is what the tattoo
In
is
its
like.
raw form.
Yeah, this is what it looks like. It's like I just recently had a magazine pick up an Iron Man tattoo that I did, and I didn't even post it on my page. I had posted it on my story.
Is it on your page now?
Now it is on my
I was
page.
gonna say it's sick.
It's
That
on
is
my
a-
dude Jared.
I
Yeah,
haven't
that
seen
is
that yet.
nasty.
And it's like I had to tell Jared, like, hey, this is going to be in a magazine in December because there's a little bit of a wait. They have their process, but it's like I didn't even. It's like I think he pointed out, like, that's not even on your page yet. That was just on your story. I'm like, yeah, dude.
That's
My
weird.
They're
buddy-
watching.
My buddy Logan's got a tattoo that's going to be. It's a Venom. That's a Marvel tattoo, and that'll be in a magazine in October. And it's like it's just me trying to do things my way, and it stands out.
And
It-
seeing the
Other people like to
awards
look at my
from it.
shit.
Yeah.
I mean, there's gotta be nothing, no more. You can't find anything more rewarding than that. Like, you are doing it your way, and the fact that it's getting the recognition and it's blowing people out of the water is crazy. Like, a lot of people copy each other because they're like, oh, you did that good that way, I'm gonna do it the same way because I wanna be on top just like you.
Right.
To inspire.
You didn't do that. You just did exactly what you wanted to do, rode with it, and now you do shit.
I'm trying, man. Like I did like a Dragon Ball Z tattoo a while back.
I saw that.
And it was put in a magazine this year actually.
It's
and it's like
badass.
I just wanted to make mine look a little bit different than like everybody knows what Dragon Ball Z is.
Yeah.
So I have to make mine look different than the other ones do, but still recognizable as Dragon Ball Z. And I didn't distort it or anything like that. I just made those colors the way that if I was drawing the cartoon, I would have made it look like this.
And that's so cool. Just the creative freedom that you get into a piece like that, you know?
And that's, I feel like I've gotten lucky that I have a lot of clients that let me do me. You know what I mean? To where there's a lot of tattooers out there that are even close to me, you know, proximity. Like, I know that you're so much better than you'll ever get the chance to show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've gotten pretty lucky with clients that are like, yeah, dude, you do you on this one. This is what I want. You do it your way. If you need to add something, add something.
But it's because they trust you. They've seen your work. Your work speaks for itself. So I fucking don't doubt anybody. Just
and I don't even know how I got there. You know what I mean? How I got so many people to let me. It's your mentality you had
since you were 12. I'm fucking going hard.
As much as you say you're like not an artist, you just like you are an artist at heart. You know, like.
I guess.
So what I've learned, whether it be like a barber, someone doing a commissioned sneaker, or even a tattoo artist, like I got told this. My first tattoo, not to give like the competition airtime, but Jimmy and Johnny at Focus Tattoo did my first ever tattoo, and they were just like, before I went in, the lady that took me was just like, piece of advice, these guys are artists, let them do that piece the way they find it necessary. Nice. And ever since then, it's just like, yeah, I want you guys to express yourself. Like, I'm not the artist. If I was, I'd have done it to myself.
Right.
You know, so I want to see what you guys do, put your touch, and especially after like being able to just observe your work every day, it never stop doing that. Never stop. You know,
he sees my gorilla neck every day.
I meant more so Jocelyn, but yeah,
no,
that's
he's always no, he's always kissing on my neck. Don't
and it's like that's the funny thing is like the tattoo that he has on his neck. That's not even like the style that I'm known for doing. You know, even the tattoos that are on Jocelyn, your girl, like that's not even really the style that I'm known for doing. But people see it, and it's like, just because you see all these like things on my page that I post, don't think that that's all I am.
Oh yeah, it's just your box.
Do way more.
Like, not to, like, I'm not in a genre because that's nothing but boundaries.
Puts you in a box.
It tells me that I can't do this. I'm not allowed to do this. I'm gonna do whatever I want.
I like that.
You know what I mean? Like, I've never been in a genre because I'm not in the. My genre is me. I'm doing what I want the way I want to do it, the way that I think it's gonna look best for me and you. You know what I mean? I'm here to guide you because that's what my job is, and I'm gonna make this as cool as I can because when people see the tattoos that I've done on you, I want them to be like, dang, dude, that's cool.
Yeah.
And that in turn makes you feel better.
It's a walking
and that's
business
all I've
card.
ever wanted.
Yeah, it's
you know
beautiful.
What I mean? I'm not going to be in that box like you said.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not going to do that. I don't have a boundary. Like it's whatever I think is right in that moment, and I'm going to do that.
And that's perfect. Literally perfect.
If I said any better, that's true. That's the truth.
Guys, we're going to take a quick break, see what he's got planned for the future, and then we will wrap it up. We'll be right back. And we are back. Before we close out today,
You have another pube on your face. I can't believe
he's the culprit. He's the culprit of this.
What kind of pube? I'm just kidding.
Dude, I make love to jungle women, all right?
Tommy looked like what?
I just shaved my shit, threw it in there like LeBron does before a game.
Your girl would have been pissed. Like, who the shit is that?
It's hurtful. I was munching on that muff box.
What
Dating my mom.
is this true?
Dad.
I got this tattoo for free, bro.
Jesus Christ.
Things come along.
Oh, everything's going just fine for you, huh, Tommy boy?
I love my life.
What are your plans for the future? What do you want to? Do you want to grow? Do you want to add to the team? Where do you see Total Immortal in the next, say, 3 to 5 years?
Oh man, that's a huge question because Total Immortal's only been open for like 3 years.
Yeah.
So
relatively short amount of time.
Yeah, it's like I still feel like we're a baby in this industry, but somehow so many people know what we are. You know what I mean, and what we're about. So I would say that, man, the sky's the limit at this point. Like the next few years, I will grow our team bigger, and I only use team because that's the word that you said. This is my family.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
Your tribe, yeah.
These are my family. Like to the point where like I text them to check up on them and see if they're doing okay and stuff. And like I will go to your house and we'll talk it out if you're having any problem in your life, Shane, even if it's your roof. Like I'll help you, man. Like we'll fix that shit together. Like so, I will just say that in the next few years, the people that are here now will become even closer. You know what I mean? Like a family, like vacations together, all of our kids knowing each other and stuff like that.
That's dope.
I want all of us to be one. You know what I mean? Like we're the immortals. You know what I mean? We're gonna live forever through this. And right now I have 6 sponsors. I assume that I'll probably grab a few more. People like looking at my shit, so if more sponsors want to pick me up, I'm cool with that, and I will represent your company to the best of my ability. And I just want to do more. You know what I mean? I can't wait to see where this takes me. It's like other businesses that I want to open or whatever that have nothing to do with this. That'll be their own thing, but Total Immortal itself, it's just gonna grow and become bigger and bigger.
Naturally.
Like the Lorax just keep bigger and things. You know what I mean?
Have you thought? I know you guys are still fairly new, still a baby as a shop and as a family / team tattooers. Have you ever thought to yourself like what your end goal might be? Like, do you have like an ending point? Like, I want to get to this point.
And then like retire?
Like how, I don't know, what you could say, I want to get to the point where I have my own product, I supply tattoo shops all over the whole entire world.
I mean, I have thought about opening like a needle company or things like that, or whatever. I had like a little line with Eternal for a minute with ink and stuff like that, like a artist box and shit. Like, I've always, like I said earlier, just lived like there isn't a tomorrow. Like it's just right now.
Okay.
To be honest, I never, as a kid, thought I would even grow to be as old as I am right now. Mid-20s was like, if I get there, holy shit.
27's club type shit.
Right, man. And it's like now I'm into my 30s, almost 40s. So it's like, who knows
63.
how much more time I even have. So I'm just living right now. I'm surprised that every day I'm surprised that it's like, it's still going. You know what I mean?
That's awesome,
It's still going. So it's like, I am literally thankful every day that I wake up in the bed that I wake up in with the person that's in that bed with me. She is great. And my kids are great, and as long as I can keep that going and us feeling the way that we feel as a family, that's all I wanted. If
there really is no end game.
Yeah,
there's not an end game. I'm already there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like if I can continue right here, that would be great. Even though I've always wanted more, and I never really am satisfied with anything. I always want to go a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. So I'll just keep on bettering as I can when I can. But to be honest, this is it. I'm living. I can't believe that this is my life.
Yeah,
to be honest,
living the same way you always have.
Growing up as poor as I grew up. No offense to my parents, but a little bit of offense. Like growing up the way I grew up and then living the way that I live now. I can't believe that this is
right. Yep.
Not to flex, but it's like when you grow up poor, why wouldn't you flex a little bit? You know what I mean? Because like I feel like, hey, I made it. Like I have cars, motorcycles,
dude, I fucking
and a nice house, and it's like it's all always been for my kids. As much as like maybe my exes are like, you drive that stupid car, blah blah blah. It's like, look, like when I went to school, it was embarrassing to get dropped off in that car. You know what I mean? I want my kids to feel like proud of who they are. You know what I mean?
Shit, I was poor as fuck too. I was happy when I was able to buy name brand cereal. I thought I made it when I bought fucking Frosted Flakes and didn't buy Frosted Snakes.
Dude, I legit used to eat donuts out of a dumpster before school, and some kids at school found out and called me dumpster.
Roughing it, yeah, dude.
Because that's the only food that was available was you lived behind a grocery store. You know what I mean? we looked out the front door, and you're supposed to see the street, and it's supposed to be nice. Like, I was looking at the back of a grocery store.
We've dumpster dove. We've gotten pop. Like the Apple's grocery store will throw cases of pop out.
Right.
You go back there and get brisk. Like they're just chilling in the
Right.
dumpster. Go home, spray that bitch off, crack it open, drink it.
And to be honest, I am still not above doing that.
Yeah, no, me neither.
no.
If
Me neither.
if it's not open, like, let's drink that fucking thing.
Me
It'll be
neither.
fine. Like, live right now, and if whatever tomorrow brings is what it brings, and see if you can make something cool happen tomorrow.
Yep.
Whatever's
with
gonna
that.
happen tomorrow, dude, have fun doing it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
that's where my next 3 to 5 years is gonna be. If I last that long, you know, like, it'll just be having fun.
Yeah.
If you're ever wondering, like, what's Boomer up to, like, I'm probably either at work or drawing shit for work, or I'm doing some kind of ridiculous bullshit with Hannah and my kids.
Yep, I was
Yeah.
gonna say with your kids, I bet.
Teaching Riley how to triple backflip on the trampoline or something
Oh my
cool.
God, no, just crazy shit.
It's your first time on the motorcycle. 5th gear, go.
Go.
I know that this episode in particular is going to do particularly well, so I do want to obviously say, drop it in the chat if you guys want to see Total Immortal bring more of a content style vlog to YouTube or to the internet in general. Obviously, I think that would be a dope thing. I know you're considering. I think you could
we've
make
talked
something.
about it a lot.
You could make something awesome.
That'd be awesome.
And anyone that's watching this is obviously either a fan of you or knows of you.
Yeah.
So let me know what you guys think. I think you could be onto something. I think that could be money. I think if you start that relatively soon, in the next 3 to 5 years, I mean, that could get picked up.
That could
like
be the
that
what's next.
and be something really,
Yeah, it
really
could be.
cool.
I mean, yeah, people come here and they love the experience that we've given them every time, and I know that people come here just because they're having fun.
Yeah.
And if people could maybe have that kind of fun at home and watch and giggle along and remember,
That'd be awesome.
because like there's so many times, and I'll make a joke to somebody in the shop because it was a joke that I made yesterday or something like that, and it's just like, this is relevant again
Yeah.
now. And whoever I'm tattooing or the other people who are getting tattooed or their friends or whoever, they don't really understand. So if I have that shit recorded, people could remember, oh yeah,
Yeah.
a couple episodes ago, oh, that's so funny, you're talking about your toes looking like dicks. Like, you know, whatever it is, like they'll think it's funny, and I would like that for people. I just want people to have a good time, man.
Yeah, you're spreading joy, which is amazing.
All that link.
Jesus,
Oh.
Tommy, this isn't
toes are dicks.
OnlyFans. Jesus.
Should I plug that?
That's right. Oh my God, dude! I want to thank you for being on the show. I mean, this
Thanks
is
for coming out, man. This
this
is
is
fun.
super cool. I'm very happy
Thank
with
you,
the
seriously.
outcome. Before we wrap up, obviously, do you have anyone you want to shout out? Anything you want to say before we wrap it up today?
Always want to shout out my kids because they're my life. You know, Harlow, Riley, Dylan. Those are my dudes, and Hannah for putting up with me, and my kids. You know, she puts up with all of us, and I feel like it's so tough for her because my kids and I are all these like sarcastic fucks. Like, we're always picking on each other and joking with each other, and Hannah, being, you know, the new one in the group, doesn't always understand. You know, that like we're just joking, and I think a lot of people are like that. Like, I'm just fucking joking.
My
Fucking
girlfriend
chill.
is like
you know
that.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it was a fucking joke, clearly.
Yep.
But for Hannah having to, like, people who come to the shop, they get me in doses. Like, I'm here every day. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, this is my life every single day. You
Full
come
throttle.
here and you had a funny time, and you're like, that was so crazy, I can't wait to go back. I did that shit yesterday.
Yeah,
And
I'll
I'm
do it
gonna
tomorrow.
do it tomorrow. And poor Hannah has to fucking live with it.
Right,
You know
I
what I
get
mean?
that.
Yep.
So, shout out to Hannah for all the putting up with, and she's like the rock behind the scenes that like keeps me going with like I have to eat sometimes and stuff like that. And I'm so busy doing all this other shit all the time. That's like, she makes my food, she cleans the house, she teaches the kids stuff. You know, she's doing all the extra stuff that I don't get a chance to get to because I am a person. So shout out to her, shout out to my kids, shout out to all my sponsors, you know, like for sticking with me with everything that's always going on and through the pandemic and all that. So Monster Energy, Eternal Ink for like sub-sponsorship stuff, and Less American, and Recovery Aftercare, Painful Pleasures, Peak Needles, all kinds of stuff. You know, like, they've helped so much, all the magazines that have put me in there, and
Hell yeah.
you know, even, you know, online like e-zines and stuff like that, or people that have, you know, put me in competitions, even like competitions I didn't know that I was going to be in. You know what I mean? Like some best Dr. Seuss tattoo I won, and I didn't even know I was going to be in this competition.
Sick.
There was a top 10 best best Wizard of Oz tattoos of all time, and I had 2 of them in that top 10, and I didn't enter either of them.
Wow.
People were just like, "Hey, I saw that you won this." I'm like, "No shit," you know, stuff like that. So the people who are entering me in competitions, I didn't even know you entered me. Like, thank you guys.
Shouts out to y'all.
Shout outs, dude, and like all the guys here at the shop. So Gina, Stevie, Shane, Carlos, Hannah, Pablo, Marissa, Kylie, and then myself, number 9. You know, all of you guys for putting up with me every day and letting me be me. You know, like I appreciate that, and obviously everybody that comes and gets tattooed on a daily basis, because literally without me stabbing people, I couldn't feed my kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't live in a house, period, let alone the house that I'm lucky enough to have, or, you know, anything that I have. Like, you know, there's so many basic needs that people have, and I literally couldn't have any of those if people didn't come here to get tattooed by me.
Yeah.
So, even through a pandemic and everything like that, like, people still wanted tattoos, and they were willing to give up that PUA money and that unemployment money to hang out and have some laughs with me. Because, no offense to all you people that have invited me to parties and cookouts, but it costs an hourly rate to hang out with me. So,
Shit don't come cheap.
but, thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart, you know, because I literally wouldn't be able to be me without you guys letting me be me, because there's so many people that get condemned for being who they are, and people taking things the wrong way and running with shit and
You get
and
put down
whatever.
for saying fuck you to society.
But the people who actually know me, the people that have been here, and they actually know the real me, the real Boomer, like, thank you. Thank you for letting me, you know, and thank you guys for letting me run my mouth for so long in this microphone.
Dude, thank you. Seriously.
You're like sucking it like it's a winker.
Guys, thank you for tuning into this episode. This has been inspirational. This has been awesome. This has really been cool. Before we close out, I do have one last question, and that would obviously be, what advice would you give to anyone interested or coming up in the tattoo industry right now?
Anybody interested in doing tattoos, first of all, do research. Okay, you're gonna have to do a lot of research on what kind of machine you're gonna want to use, what kind of needles you're gonna want to use, and what different needles do. That's a huge thing that I think there's so many tattooers that have been tattooing for so long that they still don't know what different needles are for. You know, you're only, you know, you need your tools. You need those tools to do the job, and if you don't have the right tools, it makes it really hard to do the right job. And if you have the right things, the right needles, the right machines, it will help so much. So just do your research, and it's going to help a lot. And also, a lot of people don't realize, but different parts of the body are different. We have to know like so much of people's anatomy to be able to do what we do, because it's every part of the body is different to tattoo.
Yeah,
it's
I could
different
imagine.
Skin, it's different meat, you know, and that's one thing that when you start doing tattoos, it might sound wrong, but I think you should tattoo people everywhere, all over the fucking place, because it's gonna help you learn how to do it. Tattoo yourself, it's gonna help you learn depth. I mean, a lot of tattooers say don't tattoo yourself, you know, whatever. Tattoo yourself. It'll help you learn how deep to go, how to do it in different areas and stuff like that. And a lot of tattooers also say don't tattoo your significant other or your friends that are real close to you, because you're gonna suck and you're gonna have to look at that shit for the rest of your life. But you know what? It's a reminder of where you came from.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people need that, because people get so big-headed and think that, you know, I'm the shit now. You know, like, do you remember a couple years ago when you sucked? Because like some of my friends that have tattoos from me, like, you guys are wearing that shit and it is terrible. At the time it was cool, but man, that shit sucks, and they're wearing it with pride because they know that, like, hey, my buddy Randy, for instance, he has a whole sleeve from me. It was literally the first tattoos I ever did on somebody.
Damn.
That first night, and he said he was never going to get any of them covered up because it's literally the first shit that I ever did.
That's awesome.
And he's wearing it, and it's like, I don't know if that's blackmail or what that is, Randy, but
He wants
it's
the
cool.
resale value of his arm to
Right,
go up if he's ever an
right.
amputee or something.
Oh,
just,
man.
just try hard, try harder. As soon as you think that this is as cool as it can be, make it cooler. You
I
know
like
what I mean?
that.
Make that shit cooler. Impress people. You know what I mean? If you were gonna look at it look at everything that you do as an outsider. You know what I mean? Like, take a photo of it. If it's a tattoo, if you're doing something like this, listen to it later again, and think like, how can I make that better? How can I make that cooler? How can I make this crazy? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
what would make this thing just be like, oh my god, that's fucking ridiculous. It's like when the end of the movie blows your mind. Do that with everything.
Apply it at all
Every
times.
single thing. Make your dinner taste better. Make
There
it
you go.
cooler.
Yeah.
Add something different. You know, whatever it is, like, just do better. You know.
I like that. I love that, actually. Guys, thank you for tuning in to this episode. Before we sign off, I do just want to let you know Life Widget's now available in the Apple and Android App Store. You guys download the app, add me as your first friend. You're going to get entered into a 3-prize cash drawing. We'll send that money to you any way you want. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.